So today you're going to get the opportunity to know all of us better.
ऐसा कौन सा player? Oh my God! Like after following the club, oh he caught my eye. Who is that?
Since to be honest, there were a lot of them, but
Roma have taken the lead against Parma.
Well done,
Come on, die. ये रहा, ये ऐसा लिया, पीछे लिया. नहीं.
If you say French fries, they won't respond.
Yeah.
You have to say patete
Oh,
to get.
of course.
I remember Malaika Arora Khan. She came and I was wearing a Backstreet Boys t-shirt.
Oh.
And she was staring. I thought she was staring at me.
She was staring at you.
More expressions than Arjun Kapoor.
you see, the whole country of the system is juxtapositioned by the hemoglobin of the atmosphere because you are a sophisticated rhetorician intoxicated by the exuberance of your own verbosity.
What? क्या भाई?
गाली दिया क्या?
Guys, hello and welcome to Calcio Charcha's chill stream, man.
Yes.
Yes.
Ciao tutti. Hi everyone. So today you're going to get the opportunity to know all of us better. Let's start with AM Talk Sports. Ajay Menon, Ajay bhai in the house. Why don't you start first by telling us, of course we all know you support Roma, but let's start by knowing Ajay Menon a little better.
Well,
Go for it.
I think most guys really want to know what I do for a living. And it's the most funniest thing, right? I actually do freight forwarding. Do you guys know what freight forwarding means?
Little bit. Kind of like Chandler and Friends. You know but you don't know.
हाँ, तो सबसे just to make it very simple for everyone, अरे अपन import export करते हैं. Import export. उसमें अपन. So that makes life very easy. Anyone ask freight forwarding, logistics, supply chain, import export. अपन import export का धंधा करते हैं. That's one of the questions that a lot of you guys ask कि अजय भाई आप करते क्या हो दिन में, क्योंकि शाम में तो हम चर्चा करते हैं, कैल्चियो चर्चा करते हैं. तो ये एक क्या बोलते हैं, एक जो एकदम सीक्रेट था मैंने आपके साथ शेयर किया है, लेकिन ये मैं गारंटी के साथ बोल सकता हूँ कि हम लोग तीन, चिंतन, डीजे और मैं, वी डोंट नो व्हाट दिस गाय डज फॉर अ लिविंग. ये आदमी के ट्विटर पे जाओ आप, ट्विटर को लिंक्डइन बना के रख दिया है, एक भी नॉन प्रोफेशनल पोस्ट नहीं है. मैं उसको आज बोला कि भाई एक कमेंट में टैग के प्लीज रिप्लाई कर, क्वाराट्स्केलिया के बारे में था, उसने अभी तक रिप्लाई नहीं किया, क्यों नहीं करेगा वो.
इंडिया का इलॉन,
इंडिया का स्टीव जॉब्स, आई डोंट नो, कुछ तो टेक.
बाय द वे जब भी देखोगे ही इज इन अ मीटिंग and randomly he's in some random conference. मतलब क्या करते हो यार योगेश? मतलब
he attacks all of us on WhatsApp, na? He suddenly created a multiverse, guys.
Multiverse.
We had like a sacred Calcio Charcha group. One day we all wake up and there are 12 other groups. And we're part of this multiverse suddenly.
And we still don't know how it works.
we still don't know how to operate it. Yeah.
So
Yogesh, this is the forget not.
This is the platform. Today we have to know who is Yogesh. Cool. We already know what he is, but let's know who is
and also why is Yogesh.
Cool guys, thank you for that intro. So I'm Yogesh Singh. I support Napoli, Forza Napoli.
Only Napoli fan in India, huh? Guys, by the way, very very important.
एक काम करना, ये टेबल के ऊपर चढ़ना, तो बोल सकते हो टॉप ऑफ द टेबल. बोलना.
Yeah, proud from sitting at the top of the table. Nobody expected that. I'm a software engineer by profession. I work in tech. Recently shifted to Bangalore and just शाम को like सुबह में काम करते हैं, शाम को कैल्शियो चर्चा करते हैं. So that's about me.
तो ये ADL के साथ कब ये सब डील्स करते हैं?
वो नहीं बताएगा ना यार. वो तो मिडिल ऑफ द नाइट से, वो तो those are normal कॉन कॉल्स जो होते रहते हैं, फोन कॉल्स तो चलते रहते हैं यार. But it's the biggest mystery because no wonder you are from the tech industry, because जैसे ये बोला, we are lost. The multiverse जो बना के रखा है, we still don't know how many Rossoneri fans we have, how many Bayern Canary fans we have in that. किसी को only you. And by the way, he's there in all the groups.
Yeah.
वो सब ग्रुप का है, सबका मालिक एक योगेश. So yeah, by the way, there might be a case of Yogesh as an entity is bigger than Napoli in India. Like I think boss, your connection है. You see
I think he's bigger than Napoli in Italy also. I mean, मतलब.
Yeah, you tell people that you know Napoli. योगेश, हाँ वो नापोली सपोर्टर ऐसा. यार ऑरा है तेरा, एक तो बोलना पड़ेगा, ऑरा है.
इवन लाफ्टर भी है, स्पेशली जब वो रोमा के अगेंस्ट जोक मारता है ना.
And he's that guy, you observe, उसको बोलेगा यूवेंटस और रोमा का क्या स्कोर है, I don't care.
He
Top
doesn't
of the
care.
table.
Top of the table,
He
baby.
doesn't care.
Top of the table. उसको पड़ी नहीं है. And by the way, we just had a stream on live stream Friday को किया था हम लोग ने. तभी हम लोग predictions दे रहे थे. If I ask you, Deej, predict this score for me. It's a Roma, it's an Atlanta versus XYZ game. You will give me your predictions. But ये क्या बोलता है पता है? Only आदमी जो बोलेगा I want Atlanta rules. अरे भाई want तो मेरे को 17-15 Champions League चाहिए. But he'll always give you I don't care about the result and he'll tell you draw. He will not give you the result. He will just say draw or a Juventus win. He will not specify. But योगेश को पूछ नापोली के बारे में, वो टाइम बताएगा, सेकंड बताएगा, प्लेयर भी बता देगा कौन स्कोर करेगा.
See, but that's the kind of honesty we strive for on Calcio Charcha. Huh?
Yeah,
that's
that
a compliment. Huh?
Authenticity.
No doubt.
Oh, authenticity.
Boss,
Yeah. Hats off. Hats
अपने
off.
फैंस जो भी है, सब्सक्राइबर्स है, they all wait for your one liners. और एक लाइन में तू सबकी ले लेता है बाद में. वो तो that is always there, man. But that actually before we move on.
एक मिनट, तू क्या करता है भाई?
Yeah.
What do you do for a living?
What do you do?
What do
for a
you do,
living?
Prince?
अरे यार, so
Apart from being dressed like Santa Claus on our
Dominic
Calcio Charcha.
Calvert-Lewin Santa.
oh yes. I think the question which I get the most or जो comparison मिलता है, it's been Calvert-Lewin. That's why I've covered my hair today. So I don't get.
फिर भी लग रहा है
ना
तो.
लगे.
नहीं फिर भी लग रहा है तो.
I just hope I don't play like him. यार, I hope I'm
No,
not like that on the
no,
pitch.
play
bro.
like Theo, bro. Because we played together. For whoever doesn't know.
Dominic Calvert-Lewin from Southall, London. Oh Paji.
Yeah, so for me, मेरा day job है, at least I have a business. I'm a railway contractor, so we supply installation items to the Indian government, the railways most specifically. That's why I have that freedom of traveling a lot. Yeah. I do get to travel to different cities in India only. I love what I do because I get to travel a lot, get to watch a lot of a lot of football, a lot of cricket when I travel to different cities. You know, smaller leagues, sometimes you go there, you get to watch. I get that luxury. At times I've traveled to a city where there's a test match happening. Just to create work over there, I traveled to India, New Zealand. मैंने हैदराबाद में देखा था. I went there just, okay, I had work, but I was like, might as well do the work when there's a test match happening, you know, so I get to follow. Football is...
And for guys who don't know, actually, Chintan is a very ardent sports fan across the board. Yeah. You know, all the WhatsApp groups that we're on, basically, he's the guy who will follow the tennis, whatever's playing, whether it's Wimbledon, French Open, he's up to date with the scores, hardcore cricket fanatic.
Yeah. South Africa
fantastic on the field, guys. He plays left back, never gets left back. But great player on the field, and he's a great friend. I mean, we actually met on the field, so it's been a pleasure knowing Chintan, because this guy is a guy who will keep you active. You know, it's his cultural understanding of music, sport, cinema. I think from that perspective, it's been fantastic. You know.
Yeah, man. It's funny. I actually know DJ because of his brother. His brother and we are like good friends, and that's how I met him on the pitch. And you know, because we are from the older generation, we used to play with a lot of kids, and you know, there's a little bit of Serie A in all of us, you know, the Italian in all of us. So you know, I always remember when we were playing a game, a great midfielder, an amazing sense of the game. So Ajay, you know क्या होता था? We used to play with these younger kids, and he used to always tell us, we have a 2-hour game or something. He said, Chins, let them run right now. They'll get tired. We'll get a chance. You know, he's that tactical nuances he used to take care of, and we like listen to him. You know, we'll manage it, and then we play against players who are like a decade younger, and then in the end we're like 4-0, 5-0 down. Ajay, trust me, we end up winning those games because after half an hour, 45 they run out of steam, and that's the time we like, let's just stay where we are, contain them, and then I used to love playing with them, and people like, guys, we need some runners. I was like, boss, as long as we are working together, playing together, it's amazing. And that's, I think, these things we learned it because watching our teams play, the tactical nuances, you know, just sit back. I think the game is different now.
100%.
The game is absolutely different now, you know, so...
Do you think the Juve India team missed DJ?
A lot. I was very... the only time I was happy not to see DJ is that day. Had he been there, there was a time where Milan, India and Juve, we were playing and there was a draw. And they pushed forward and we got a chance and we missed that. Had he been there, he would have yelled at everyone, including his own brother who was a goalkeeper in that game. So that would have amazing. I was the only time I was happy to not see him, and I was very upset seeing you. It was that day.
योगेश क्या हुआ उस दिन? तू ही बता क्या हुआ उस दिन?
नहीं बताना चाहता.
Yeah, but you know what? सबका एक label है. I think I'm just a talkative person on Calcio Charcha. The artsy, the crafty person, the nuances देखने वाला has been DJ, and everyone calls you the director, the art film director. DJ, what is it you do? You are the most creative person I know probably. You get that aesthetics right. The cup has to be like this. No, like this. Yeah. This is done by him, by the way. So
you better like it.
Yeah. This is not just random. It's done by him. So Deej, what is it you do, man? You're so creative. You're constantly coming up with things. So what is it you do?
So basically, I think AJ and Chins kind of know it. Yogesh probably doesn't. So I'm basically a creative director, essentially. At my core, started my career as a copywriter in an agency, so worked in advertising for very long, and then very recently started my own setup. So what we do essentially is brand and content. So the new drops that we'll see on the channel and stuff is a culmination of all our ideas, and somewhere if I get the opportunity, I will execute. So that's what's really happening. So we do a lot of brand and content. I build websites, I make films. I think I shared that Diwali film once with you.
With all of us.
So there's a little bit of creative production there's a little bit of direction, conceptualization, writing, etc., etc. So that's the space I'm in. Digital marketing at large, basically. Essentially, the world has moved a lot from offline advertising to digital, and I think that's now my space. So like I said, so there's a mix of things. You could build a website, you could create social media ads, you could handle someone's social media page, for example. So if Calcio Charcha wants to hire me, guys, I'm available.
No, seriously,
I'll send the invoice across first.
I thought you were an investment banker.
So that's the space I'm in, and it's great fun. It's I think the important, and it's true for all of us, right? All of us have that inner creativity. It's just about finding the space and platform to express it. Which is why I'm really happy all of us have this platform. That's why we can be really creative.
Yeah.
All of us except Yogesh, I know, are very creative.
But actually, मैं सोच रहा हूँ, what we've not fully utilized DJ's skills or his thing. और हम लोग क्यों इतना सोच रहे हैं यार, ये creative aspects ही तो उधर ही छोड़ दो. We'll not interfere only. Yeah.
Speaking of which, we're actually missing someone right now.
Oh yes.
The stat
man, the
analytics man.
वो तो अभी भी किसी को पता नहीं कि परम करता क्या है. And guys, let me tell you, हम लोग को भी अभी तक नहीं पता है परम करता क्या है.
अगर तुम्हें पता तुम कमेंट करो.
मेरे को उतना पता है. डीज
उसको बॉस को
भाई उसने पूरा हिस्ट्री ज्योग्राफी बता दिया प्लेयर के बारे में. I was like, how the hell? Oh, thank you so much.
I think परम ने भेजा उसका नाम सुन के.
शायद हो सकता है यार.
ये अपना ब्रांड प्लगइन है Starbucks. शायद
Starbucks, come in as a plug-in,
Let's see what do we have here.
वो मेरा है.
क्या?
वो मेरा है जो भी तू उठा रहा है गरम कॉफी.
Oh, that is it.
एकदम क्रिसमस फ्लेवर है ये.
Oh, nice. You have cookies?
We have cookies.
Wow, getting sweet.
Oh, let me keep this on the side.
एक इटालियन पॉडकास्ट है तो एक कैफे तो बनता ही है. कैफे तो बनता है. Do you know what? Just this in general. When I fight with my wife, now my wife uses this against me. She uses this against me. Yeah, she's like, and I'm like, dude, that's my move. And she's like, no, living with you now, you and I do this. In fact, I do this.
Yeah.
That is
a constant, I think, in all our lives.
It is.
I'm sure all of you all do this at some point, right?
And while playing, like, of course, we play Sunday league football. That time when we do this, I have people who tell me, this is so irritating, why are you doing this? It's like an obvious foul, but I like, come on. So come on. So it is something which is, do you guys know when you guys start doing this? I don't remember.
I think it's now almost like a habit. So you're not doing it consciously anymore. It's very impulse,
Yeah, it is. And especially by the way, your wife ke saath, as you said, fight with anyone. You're doing this, imagine, I just hope none of us do it. I don't know if I do it in business meetings or something, guys, come on, but no.
नहीं होता है. Subtly होता है.
Yeah, maybe.
But it's just something which is, I don't remember, Deej, when do we start doing this? Like, कैसे आया अपने अंदर? As you said, it's been 20 years? 20, 25, 20 for me.
I mean, it's funnily enough, now that we're mentioning, AJ, when did you start supporting Roma? What year?
2002. That was
22 years, man. That's over 2 decades. Yogesh?
So I started following Napoli for Cavani reasons, and that was in 2011.
Oh wow,
Not bad.
that was a good Napoli.
Good
team.
Napoli.
That was a solid.
Napoli.
Cavani has terrorized us.
Yeah. वो सपने में आता था, nightmare था वो यार.
Seriously.
What a player, what a
Let's see
player.
next to him, Cavani.
Yeah, I love-
That
Three
tenors.
team was
Three
stacked.
tenors,
I'm sick.
Three
Yeah.
tenors.
3 tenors, yeah. Was
Stacked. What a team.
But,
So what about you?
I had a funny journey actually. I knew some people who were older than me who used to follow, of course, EPL. So they were very Arsenal biased. That is why you can see a little Arsenal bias for me when it comes to English teams. Yeah, so I watched Euros 2000, of course. Very heartbreaking it was, whatever. And my eyes, of course, I couldn't. Paulo was something which was, wow, what a player, what a defender. And Aura, yes, exactly. And then तभी थोड़ा पढ़ा था कि he's been playing, his second generation player है, and that is how I got in touch with Milan. And the first game which I saw, proper first game which I saw was so funny that Param is not here, was the 6-0 victory which
Oh, the derby.
yeah, the derby,
hard.
and I was like, boss, this is
the
and the
thing.
atmosphere, which is amazing. So it was 2000, 2001, I think I started supporting them, and luckily for me, that was a bad year actually, but luckily for me, we tasted Champions League very early. Unfortunately, against Juventus 2003, and I was like, boss, this is it, man. This is and I remember that time, boys, Champions League Saturday ko nahi aata, that was Wednesday night only the
Wednesday night,
finals.
yeah.
So staying up and Dida, and I was like,
I
boss.
still remember Buffon save Inzaghi ka jo
Oh,
save.
I celebrated.
man,
I
man,
celebrated
man.
that, and I was like, boss, this was like, isko tension bolte hain, like what is happening inside me, So
Brand new emotion has
yeah,
popped out.
something which is, and I went the next day, and I was like, boss, Milan won, and I was like, huh? And I was like, okay, koi to jara, get in with me, to celebrate. But that time I realized, as every one of us thought, you are the lone supporter of that club in the country, so something like that. So Deej, what about you, man? And you were like, first of all, 2 questions. When did you start supporting Juve? Secondly, how did you influence your brother? Because I heard he was an Inter fan, right?
He was.
So how did you get him to change sides from Inter to Juve, man?
It's very funny, So Juve was, I don't know if you guys remember in the 90s, mid-90s. I started supporting Juve in 95.
Oh.
Mid-90s, just the time after they beat Ajax in the Champions League. You guys remember in the Doordarshan had this show every Sunday called Gillette World Sports something.
Yes.
You guys remember that?
Yep, faint
So I
memory.
was actually in Delhi and I had nothing to do on this Sunday evening at 4 o'clock, and these highlights started playing of the Juve Ajax game. And I was like, what is this team in the blue? You remember? The Aura Kappa kits.
Yeah, Kappa
Blue,
kits.
Sony stars on
Yeah.
the side. I was like, this is a smashing looking kit. And who is this team playing this fancy football? Vialli was
Of
leading
course.
the line, Ravanelli, and very young Del Piero. And I
Yeah.
was like, who's this flashy guy with long hair and everything? And I see the highlights, and they've had like this great game, and theek hai, yaad rakha. And then maybe I think 4 or 5 months later, again I came across the same team with the Sony logo, this time black and white kit. And if you guys remember, at that time we didn't have what is Star Sports today, was Prime Sports then.
Yeah.
And
Back in
Prime
the
Sports abhi tak aaya nahi tha.
Yeah.
Again I was catching, but I was like, again they made the final. So they were playing Madrid that year.
Madrid, yeah.
And it was Juve Madrid. That match I saw live. And Juve were just banging. That team was just stacked,
Yeah.
Like they were really the Galacticos in the 90s, so to speak. I think Milan was the first 3-4 years in the 90s, and then 95 onwards, Juve was the Champions League.
3 back-to-back Champions League finals.
Three Champions League finals back to the Juve Madrid game, and they're just bombing down the flanks, killing it. Edgar Davids in the center as CDM. So what I'm seeing is like this team is playing amazing, and I obviously heard Madrid is a very big Champions League team. So I'm like, this is feeling like this is my team. Like there's just something about them. And then I kind of followed the whole season after that. And again, they made the Champions League final this time. Dortmund, so my heart kept breaking year on year. The year after that, they made the semis, lost to Manchester United.
The famous game.
That Ancelotti was coach at the time. So they were a very aura team. Their kits were smashing. The football was amazing, and they wear these long dark coats on the touchline. So Kappa had made the tracksuits weren't there. It was just more like these long coats where you're wearing. They had the old Del Alpe Stadium, which was again a very aura-driven stadium.
Huge stadium, with the tracks.
75,000. It was actually built for Italia 90.
Exactly.
Yeah, you boys obviously remember that.
Yeah,
and then, seeing all of that, it's just like, this is an aura team. And I think then I just got obsessed with them, and I think the journey just began then. I had started my football journey in Italia 90. The late Toto Schillaci, Baggio's debut, so Italy was already like my national team. And then Juventus within Italy just sat beautifully.
It's the other way around. Usually I follow the club and then the national team. So you started with the national team. Yeah, very hard to not follow Italy after seeing Baggio, right?
Damn hard.
That's the biggest regret. Never saw Baggio.
Which is why you actually, you came in on the precipice of actually one of the greatest Milan teams. Like the 93-94 Milan teams were just banging.
That was
banging. Like what a team.
I still remember that decade. Yogesh, tu manega nahi, was 6 Champions League finals by Italian teams, 3 Milan and 3 Juve, and only 2 victories. Horrible. But that year, and of course, Inter won the Europa League
against Roma. Against Roma, 2-legged game. 94.
So that time, that decade for Italian football was
Parma winning the UEFA Cup.
Parma winning, and then I still remember that which was the final with Lazio.
Cup Winners' Cup. Lazio jeeta.
That was my youngest memory. As I know, of course, those are rivals. But if you remember that Ronaldo goal, the OG Ronaldo, the step over.
R9, bro.
R9. Can I tell you something, Ajay? मैं हमेशा पहले सोचता था a lot of players do step overs. But sometimes keeper goes the right way, right? I've seen it years on, and abhi highlights mein bhi. Whenever he did that step over, he always got the right. Like he was the right way and the keeper went the wrong way. That, if you ask me right now, the goal was a decent goal, okay? But for me, it's probably a very iconic goal because I was in awe. Because there was a camera angle, DJ camera angle tha, tabhi dikhaya tha back then, was from behind. Not from the keeper's side.
Right.
But behind Ronaldo.
Right.
And the gap was not that much. And the leg movement, it was amazing, those step overs. And I have never, till now, seen a player so confident with the ball at his feet. I know that it's a very, not a very popular opinion. But boss, after seeing him and Zizou play,
do you know he's got over 80 plus goals where he's rounded.
Only player to do that. And the second highest is somewhere in 40s. So that was a specialty rounding.
Phenomenal for a reason, bro. I mean, like that guy had again an aura player. Like that guy, what he could do with the ball at his feet.
And boss, let's not forget those pitches.
Terrible potato fields.
Horrible.
Exactly.
Horrible.
And boss, there was a
Not only the pitches, Chins, those defenses.
Defense,
Like how do we forget, man? Like, and he was playing a chunk of the football in Italy. At club after Barca and everything when he was here in playing with Inter and Milan. I mean, those defenses were something else, And to do that week in and week out.
And you know what? There was a very famous interview of Jose Mourinho. And I think when he was at Barca that time, and they just bought him. Okay, they had just bought him. He's there, and he, of course, being Ronaldo, he was lazy and not come for training and this and that. And I think that Robson was the manager.
Was
assistant. So Robson said that we are going to start him. And Jose was like, how can we start him? He's not trained and he's not done anything. How are we going to start him? And he put him without any training, he put him on the pitch and he scored goals. And Jose Mourinho was like, boss, that time I realized this guy is something else, man. So he was the only player in my life, you can say, luckily I got to see him, but a very fag end of his career actually.
I think you saw him after the injuries.
Different 2007, he was a fag end of his career.
The
only player I was like, kash ye khel leta Milan ke liye, that prime Ronaldo. And boss, so many Ballon d'Ors, so many accolades after having 2 knee surgeries.
Crazy, guys. Where will you find that in today's generation? No chance.
But no chance. I know we all follow our respective clubs. Koi ek to player hoga, which of course made you fall in love with that club. Or I'm not talking about the obvious answers. I'm not talking about the Del Pieros, the Tottis, the Hamsich. But after getting to know your team, aisa kaun sa player hai who's like, oh boss, get to the answers.
Roma have taken the lead against Parma.
Well done.
Die. ये ऐसा लिया पीछे लिया. नहीं.
Let's get back to the question. I'll start with Deej first. ऐसा कौन सा player है? Of course, after being in awe of the Viallis and the Del Piero. ऐसा कौन सा player? Oh my God! Like after following the club, oh he caught my eye. Who is that?
Since to be honest, there were a lot of them, but the guy who really has my heart in a very underrated way, and perhaps you will rate him, AJ will rate him, Yogesh perhaps has not seen as much, Edgar Davids.
Oh man!
Like that guy for me is just, again, he's an aura player, you know, you look at his look and then he wears these Oakleys after his eye operation. Again, it's not very well documented, or perhaps you all don't know, Moji had actually cut him out from the first team because he's refusing to sign a contract extension, and then when they needed him, they brought him back. He was still banging. You didn't feel like he's lost any edge. You don't feel like he's match fit, sharp as a.
Boss, there was something about him coming glares as an opponent, like boss.
Yeah, you know, he gave you that predator feel. Like he's going to hunt you down. You know? And in the middle of the park, what a player he was.
In fact, वो overlap episode में ना, De Rossi mentioned that Roma were about to sign Davids. And it didn't go through, which is why De Rossi got promoted from the Primavera into the.
It worked also, right?
It worked.
But you know, there's a very famous video.
He came from Milan, so of course. So.
Another player didn't work out, unfortunately, Patrick Vieira and Davids. But there's a very famous ad, right? Nike ad where they're playing with those demons.
Yes.
And then Edgar Davids with his lock, you know, it's like, you know, exactly the predator feel is the exact. You hit it
analogy,
with the nail, तेरा कौन रहेगा?
I have a very controversial answer for you. You think it's going to be De Rossi, but it's not. It's Antonio Cassano.
No, I saw it coming. Minute you said controversy.
I was just going to say, boss, you have to.
But
he's a controversial person now.
But back in the day, he was the most coveted talent in Italy.
Guys, Bari, that player in Bari.
That Bari inter goal.
He said they were like, they hailed him as the new Baggio.
Yeah.
I mean, to get that comparison at that age is mind blowing.
It would have happened had he not messed up his own career.
Injury plus he's
not
off.
Injury that Real Madrid move
also
was.
like
मैं एक और controversial statement मारता हूँ जो आजकल के जो बच्चे जो ईडन हजार्ड को देखते हैं ना, आप कसानो को देखो. He didn't hit his prime. Hazard hit his prime. He did everything, you know, perfectly in his football career. But had Cassano maintained something, a sane version of himself, he would have hit those
I think
heights.
sanity, discipline, and I think also respect. He didn't respect his teammates, didn't respect his coaches. Like really, you know, if I have to draw an analogy to cricket, in many ways he kind of reminds me of Vinod Kambli. You know?
Prithvi Shaw.
Insane talent, insane, like just not making it eventually. So, yeah, I mean, great.
But you know, by the way, there's another very good example because I remember there was did it happen or I don't remember very clearly. शायद टॉटी ने उसको बोला था कि रुक जा इधर और एक साल.
In fact, if you read Francesco Totti's autobiography,
I have that.
His mother, you know, told him, "You're not going out partying. You're staying with me in our house. You're my second son, you know, like third son rather, youngest son. So you stay with us." That familiar. He did. In fact, the funny thing here is, I had a Rediff mail ID which was AJ_Cassano Roman Prodigy 18@rediffmail.com. I didn't know how to make email IDs back in that day.
That is
amazing. You send any emails from that? Tell me they weren't work mails.
It's back in school. Back in school.
But you know, by the way, I'll tell you a similar story. जैसे Luis Suarez. He was about to sign because the notorious Wenger का 40 million plus 1 euro, 1 pound का उसने bid किया था. So he was almost going to leave for Arsenal and Wenger wanted him. Of course, he would have been a great player under Wenger also. So Gerrard said, stay 1 more year. You want to go to Barca, you get to go. Let's fight for the title.
Boys, sorry, 2-0.
Oh,
2-0.
Fabulous.
So
that is the time where Gerrard said, stay 1 more season. You will get your dream call up from Barcelona or we'll let you go there. Stay 1 more season or मेरे को league title में help कर. We'll win the league title. And unfortunately, that's the year where Gerrard's slip happened and they didn't end up winning the title. So he stayed that 1 season, got to call to Barca, and we know how big Suarez is now. So, you know, imagine had Cassano listened to a great like Totti, would have helped his career. Now, I feel that move was a little too early for him. Got in his head.
And also I feel like in the middle, if you guys remember, Moji came in very hard for Cassano. That Juve Cassano nexus was also very, very on edge.
He said some very disrespectful.
He never been a fan. And I think that's what cut it off. But that would have been a good move for him.
Imagine he still came back to Sampdoria, still came to Milan, won us the league title. He was so important for us. Left then and started dissing Milan also. So
but players like that, they don't have that loyalty. They don't come through that youth rank. It's sad.
Yogesh.
So for me it was Edinson Lavezzi.
Lavezzi man.
ये एडिनसन लवेज़ी कौन है?
Sorry,
एडिनसन
sorry,
कवानी
sorry.
और
Edinson
एजिक्वेल लवेज़ी का
Cavani,
तूने मिश्रण
Edinson
करके
or Lavezzi?
No.
It was Lavezzi. Like Cavani, like I started following Napoli for Cavani.
हाँ.
And
The
then
tattoos.
then Lavezzi का speed वगैरह देख के and
Lavezzi is a
there were,
good
like,
player.
What a player.
his tactical abilities, like it mesmerized me.
Lavezzi in many ways was like the Aguero in Italy.
Yeah, I was just going to shit. I was
Like
just
that
going to say that
analogy, like
because he
was-
was not a box striker. He would come back.
Yeah.
Him, Quagliarella and Di Natale. I think they were very similar mold.
Quagliarella, man.
Quagliarella.
What a player. How, like,
Quagliarella.
And very sad what happened to him in Naples. You know,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
whole stalking
he,
incident.
he was
incident,
being
yes.
stalked and it was so sad that he was very
He's a
sad.
Neapolitan local lad.
Local had to.
And
He
very-
killed it at Juve after. I mean,
Yeah,
Juve
but
saw
I'm
him
very
and-
happy how his career panned out. To be honest, he got
Who's-
hailed. Fabio Quagliarella. So how do you pronounce it, man?
Quagliarella.
Quaglia. Quaglia.
Quaglia.
Very, probably the most difficult spelling after. मेरे को अभी
Quaglia.
भी एक प्लेयर पता था वो PSV या किधर था
Jan Vennegoor of Hesselink.
Jan Vennegoor of Hesselink. वो जो प्लेयर आया था when his name was written and I was like ये क्या है? I was so fascinated. I was like ये मेरा favorite player है. Just for his name ये मेरा favorite player है. No, but yeah man.
पूरा एपिसोड खत्म होगा उसका नाम
By the way, guess who scored the
so
second
long.
goal for Roma? Guess.
Pisili.
No.
Then
Vic,
Pellegrini.
No.
Dybala.
No. Why did you look at Chintan? There's a reason why I looked at Chintan. And I asked him the question.
Brian Cristante.
No, he's not even playing.
Oh, thank God. man.
Alexis Salamakis.
Salamakis.
Salad makers.
Oh,
Salad maker.
At least Tammy को रख ले and हमको Salamakis दे दे भाई.
I don't know why did that happen, yaar. It's like a black hole for me. Once I dive into that, anyways. वो luckily for saving grace था यार मेरे लिए टिजानी ने जिता दिया वरना मेरा क्रिसमस बहुत खराब जाता यार but you know yeah so let's not go there man.
You know, it's a very important thing that Chintan just said. Like, you guys know when like our teams lose on big nights, you know? Since we're all such like old fans, you guys remember big Champions League nights when your teams get eliminated? The next day it felt like someone died, you know? Like, I couldn't do any work, my hair, you go to the office, you don't want to talk to anyone, you don't want to look at anyone.
Listen, that 7-1 Man United drubbing, there are people who still bring it up.
What are you saying?
Yeah.
What are you saying?
I'm very neutral now, like I don't care, but back in the day,
It hurts.
2007, so I was
It
20 years old.
It hurts. And it hurts more because it's an English club.
Exactly.
That is though.
And there are a lot of United fans, I'm guessing.
भर के और
Yeah.
कॉलेज में तो भर के यूनाइटेड फैंस थे एंड रोमा had won the first leg and I was like
2-1.
2-1 I was
2-1.
screw you all we are coming away we're going to like you know sit back and we're going to defend the lead Spalletti I don't know it's just horrendous
You can always go back to the big Barca night with Florenzi.
So
I
that
mean,
was-
that is really.
that was there, yeah.
That was a proper
That,
European night.
with the Drurika commentary, it was amazing. Greek god from Rome.
You know, actually, I was watching the game with Arjun at his place, and when I reached his place, he was telling his dad, "Ki Roma need to win 3-0. It's never going to happen." You know, I told Arjun, I just think it could happen tonight because Roma weren't bad in the first leg.
Yeah,
4-1 was
You get a
not,
sensation sometimes.
Yeah.
You know? Some Champions League nights, you just know it's going to be a good night.
and yeah, possibly one of the best nights ever, man. I mean,
As a 100%.
as a Roma.
But by the way,
But one sec, since he said that, let's start with Chintan. What is your favorite, greatest Milan fan night following your club? The greatest night for you as a Milan fan, Champions League, Serie A, whatever. But that
Yeah.
one memory, you know, that
it's very interesting. But I will go with 2003 because I was a kid back then.
both hard.
Yeah, I know that. Back then, 2003, I was a kid. I just started following Milan, and and of course, everyone knew of Juventus. And when you start following your club, you start reading about your rivals too. And सबको पता है the league domination Juventus का जो था. And we're like, boss, this is going to be a tough final. And I still remember that video. I did feel a little bad seeing Nedved cry in the semi-finals. The suspension. I was like, boss, he's going to miss the inside. Of course, I was a little happy. But you don't want to. You always want the best players to play for the
people.
opposition.
Also the most creative in that.
Yeah. And Nedved again, the hair, amazing, and that final jo dekha tha, I can never forget those emotions, the topsy-turvy emotions. Inzaghi ka, as you mentioned, start mein, I celebrated, and it was a blind. I was like, probably that's the night I became a Buffon fan. You can say Buffon Italia fan, not the Buffon Juve fan.
Of course.
But boss, he just pulled it out of thin air. Goals. And if you see the video again, Inzaghi was about to take off. Typical Inzaghi. And I was like, kabhi lagta, it's not going to happen for your club. It's not going to happen. And you have that thing in your head that penalties तो striker लेते हैं.
Correct.
दोनों टीम के डिफेंडर्स आ रहे थे पेनल्टी. I was like, ये नेस्टा आ रहा है. I was like, why is Nesta walking up for this penalty, boy? I was like, भाई क्या है? शवचेंको किधर है? शवचेंको को लाओ. And boss, that nervousness, this you are like cold. So and then when that Sheva penalty went in, and I started sweating and I sat down and I think I was teary-eyed. I was like, boss, what is this emotion? It was the first time I experienced something like this in my life. And of course, in 2 years, I had probably the worst night as a Milan fan.
Yeah, of course.
So,
the Champions League does that to you, it's very cyclical. It'll give you your best night, but also...
It's exactly 2 year cycle time I relate. 2003, 5 and then 7. But boss, I'll tell you, 7 felt nothing. I thought was 7 jeetenge to erase 2005.
But it doesn't, it can't.
It can't. And because it's not a loss, Deej. It's not the loss. I read Steven Gerrard's autobiography. Gerrard is a great player himself. And he said that at halftime they were thinking this should not be a tennis score. It's in his autobiography. And when they walked out, and I think it's a fake news, just to tell you, काफी fake हो रहा था जैसे सब लोग बोल रहे हैं कि Milan was celebrating at halftime. Never happened, especially under Paulo's captaincy,
No chance.
And these are professional players. They'll never think a game is done.
You're right, but also, it's psychological, especially with Italian teams. You also know it was under Ancelotti with Deportivo, you remember? Champions League. So there is a psychological shift when you're like 3 love up, you just feel like it's in the bag, no one will say it.
But listen, Deej, that is what Ancelotti is.
But unforgivable. As a fan, I totally feel you. Like that is just something like you're like, what the? Like,
and listen, that thing is, 2004 was supposed to be all the so-called smaller teams, Deportivo, Monaco, Porto were there in the I was like, boss, Milan here, it should be Milan's year. And I'm not boasting, but that Milan team was like
stacked, boss.
I was like, boss, ye haar nahi sakte.
Stacked.
And exactly, and this is what has happened with Carlo before,
that's the thing,
it's something which...
It's so funny, like...
Wrong sub, by the way, he removed Crespo off in the 2005 final. Boss, you can't pull Crespo off, And there was a sub where Kaka was terrorizing them. Benitez got Didi Haman on. And he was like, boss, tu uske piche rahe. And Kaka was completely blocked and again double save. These double saves are like, Josie, dude, kidhar kya uske baad, those saves. Tabhi mere ko again wo laga, Sheva should be off because he was mentally off the game. Because whatever he was doing, everything was getting stopped. He shouldn't have been on the pitch.
I also feel since that night, there was also a mental shift. Once that 3-2 happened, you could see like the players' body language change.
But
like, shit, this is not like what we thought it is.
It was just 6 minutes of madness. 8 minutes of madness. And your penalty bhi same hua tha. It was a rebound which went in, which I was like, what is happening? So probably 2003 is the night which made me fall in love with Milan. And 2005 probably was my first heartbreak. Not with any girl, my first heartbreak was 2005. Yeah, something like that.
Hard one. AJ?
I have to probably the heartbreak, the penalty shootout heartbreak was quite recent because it happened against Sevilla in the Europa League final, a game that Roma should have really won it. So it was heartbreaking, and again we were watching.
Was that the first time that Roma broke your heart? Like
no,
late into your journey as a fan?
No, it wasn't
what
because
Arsenal, 2008.
But Arsenal to thigh, but like I think my heart broke for the first time when Pazzini scored those 2 goals. So this is 2009-2010. Ranieri comes in.
Yes, the league title.
Ranieri replaces Spalletti. Roma winless for like 6 games. In the beginning, Spalletti gets sacked. Ranieri comes in. Suddenly we get on a run. Jose Mourinho's Inter.
He's ahead of Mourinho also, I think, for a couple of games.
So Roma beat Inter at home and leapfrog Inter
by 2 points.
By 2 points. And then a game against Sampdoria, which was an easy... I remember watching this game. Complete Roma domination. Perotta scored the first goal, or I don't know who scored the first goal, but Roma had easy chances to make it 3-4-0 and put the game to bed. And then for the first time, I had that feeling that, oh shit, now something's going to happen. Pazzini scores 2 goals, Sampdoria win 2-1, Inter win the game in hand, go 1 point ahead of us. They stay at the top till the end. Mexes was crying on the Roma bench and that night, and Roma just missed out on the Scudetto by a single point. So that was a heartbreak.
Listen, Ajay, I read somewhere. I heard it in De Rossi's thing.
9 second.
9 second finishes.
9 second.
9
finishes.
times second finish. You know.
Yeah.
And this is the time where Calciopoli happened. Juventus were rocked.
By the way, this was my pickup line. When I used to pick up girls, I'm used to finishing second.
Well done, AJ. Well done.
Oh my God!
That's
Boom!
amazing.
Boom! But ladies, if you're listening tonight, he's married. Okay? So stay away.
He's taken.
Stay away.
Non-Sitoka. Non-Sitoka.
It's a Christmas special, but he's not single all the way. Yeah.
Non-Sitoka. But the best night or the best evening has to be when I was at the Olimpico to see Francesco Totti's last game, Roma winning it at the death, 3-2, Diego Perotti scoring in the 93rd minute.
Lovely finish.
And
Way
lovely
to
finish.
finish
And
the story.
I was celebrating with a random uncle and his son, and literally that was the only concern. I went alone and I was like, किसके celebrate करूँगा यार?
Amazing.
गोल मारेगा.
Amazing.
And we were like, that was just crazy.
Because you need to share that joy. It's
Yeah.
too much otherwise. Yeah,
Yeah, too much.
Like you have to get it out of your body, right? Like
Tears, man. The best night.
Crazy.
So it beats the Barca comeback. It beats the Conference League win.
Crazy.
This was the night. I mean, this is what, this is why we became fans of the clubs.
Crazy.
That
Amazing.
we loved,
Yogesh, not too many nights for you, but
So what should I start with? Worst?
Best. पहले best. पहले best बोल दे यार.
More, I'm sure there are more.
वो पहले worst
memories.
बोल.
Yeah,
Worst
yeah,
बोल.
पहले
Memories
worst
ज़्यादा है ना.
Worst का चुपता है.
चुपता है.
Worst night, I would say, I remember when Chelsea defeated Napoli and went on to win the Champions League
That was.
that year. Like the first Champions League which Chelsea
2-0
won.
lead and then
We led 2-0.
Ah.
Cavani had scored on the home leg, and Chelsea also sacked their coach in between, and this guy came
Di
in.
Matteo.
Di Matteo came in, an Italian came in. And then Chelsea, like in the second, completely dominated Napoli.
4-1 जीते थे क्या?
Yeah, something like that. I don't remember. I guess it was 3-1.
Oh yeah.
2-0 over here and then 3-1 over there. So that was one of the worst night. I thought Napoli for the first time in Champions League, they are going ahead. We took a good
I hope
lead.
Cavani का team अच्छा था यार. That was a good team. Cavani was a banger.
Facts.
Actually, just a side question. Did you think at that night, should I stop supporting Napoli and look for a English Premier League team?
No.
Oh, switch to Juve.
No. English football is not for me. I don't want to say much
Actually,
on that.
DJ, he's the only guy who says that I only watch Serie A. I don't watch any other league in the world.
Fabulous. Yeah, you
ISL
respect it.
ISL
I appreciate that.
Yeah, he's a.
Only
Or
Serie A.
ISL, of course.
He watches ISL,
Of
but
course.
otherwise in the top 5 European leagues, only Serie A, nothing else.
Fantastic.
And the best night for me was very recent when Napoli won the Scudetto, wo wala season.
Of course.
And one match I want to single out was the win against Juventus here.
Oh yeah.
ये recent वाला.
Yeah. And
Kula
Spalletti
belly.
goes to do a handshake with Allegri.
that meme.
That meme, mate, yeah. That was my
in
best
Turin
memory.
or the Spalletti game. Spalletti Allegri.
Yeah.
अच्छा ये वाला.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
got
yes,
it.
yes. So that was one of my favorite Napoli memories.
But you know, a question Adish for you. Of course, before we get to your favorite and the worst night, being in the shadow of you, because they were also chasing the league title for I think the decade जिधर Milan teams and Roma were in doldrums जो
Yeah.
एक banter
Banter
चल रहा था.
banter.
The only other team to give you a title push was Napoli, and I still remember that one game where Koulibaly scored the winner,
One love.
and then Higuain had a meltdown the next game. a red card.
Losing it. Yeah.
I think that game, I think they leapfrogged Juventus.
Yeah,
Had
correct.
they won the remaining 2 games,
Yeah.
they would have won the league title.
Yes.
I have a very difficult question for you.
Yeah. So I'm telling you, as a of course, they were for them. It's nothing to do with Juventus, but they lost the league title 3-4 years in a row. Second finish
Yes,
kiए थे.
yes,
So
yes.
they will always consider Juventus as their biggest rivals. Am I not mistaken?
Definitely.
Not just him, entire Naples.
Yeah.
And you've seen videos. So in that period of time, were you ever worried that
Wait,
details of nahi hai yaar?
Chintan, before you go ahead, I have a question for Yogesh. I want to put him on the spot.
Yeah, sure.
Which night is more memorable? The night where you got married or when Napoli won the Scudetto?
So Napoli didn't win the Scudetto on one night.
Not to give it to him, boss.
What an answer!
Not to give it to him, boss. Not to give it to him. 7 crore. What an answer! What an answer, यार. ये लगता है तू अभी ये प्रूफ किया तू एडीएल के साथ उठता बैठता है. ये ऐसा डिप्लोमेटिक आंसर मैं दे नहीं पाऊंगा यार.
Robot का है. He thinks so
Too
well,
good, yeah.
man.
Too
Yeah,
good.
yeah, too good. Yeah.
Fabulous.
So yeah, Deej. So my question is, they take you as the biggest rivals. Were you in that period ever worried that Napoli overtake kar lega ya no? On a serious note, like of course Napoli, they take you as the biggest rivals. What about you? Like in that decade, were you ever worried that you lose? They did play amazing football.
Guys, truth be told, I was angry at the league at large. Hardcore Juve. I want Juve to win, sweep everyone aside, of course, in Europe, in Italy. But you also want healthy competition, right?
Yeah.
It's good for the league. It's good for the Nacional.
You don't want it becoming Bundesliga.
And it kind of became every time like, and I didn't want to, you can't take anything away from Juve in those years. It's not Juve's fault that everyone else is shit, right? They are the ones who are manning up and setting the standard. Everybody has to do that. And and Juve has always been forward thinking. They were the ones with the stadium. They understood that you have to make it a made for TV product. So I think from that perspective, for me, since I was torn, I wanted more competition. All the friends in the banter era also would be like, yeah guys, this is becoming like the Bundesliga. It's only Juventus.
Yeah.
And then like it's making it worse. Then you're getting Higuain in, then you're getting Pjanic in, then you're getting,
that was the worst
then you're
season
getting
ever.
Ronaldo in. I mean, like you want everyone to have like at least give us a fight, right? So yes, every victory is celebrated. There was no sense of entitlement. Like this is our league. You've got to be respectful. You've got to be humble. Competitors at the end of the day are what make you, right? And and always there's generally, as a Juve fan, and it's not very well talked, I've always had a respect for Milan, more so perhaps than Inter, guys. No offense, but to me that's been the club from Milan, and I think they kind of have a very healthy respect between themselves. It goes back to the ownership, Galliani, Moggi, they had like their own nexus, and and also like the way the players would kind of come and go. And you could know it was really Takkar ki, history. With Naples, I never felt that way. Like Napoli is I see it as more like they have a very provincial club mentality, and I think a large part of that is down to the ownership. Like ADL has kind of made it cinema, so to speak. The way his coaches come and go, his antics. I don't know if you guys know this. When Juve beat them in the Coppa final, the team walked away, didn't shake hands.
Yeah, I remember.
It's very poor, yeah.
Yes.
You don't need it. You need it for the competition. You must respect whoever's beaten you, right? And like those things you don't like. And I think nothing personally against the team. I don't know any of these guys. In fact, I was a great fan of Cavani. We were linked with him for so long. Lavezzi, fantastic player. Hamsik, bro. What a midfielder.
Mr. X.
Yeah, Milan.
Mr. X.
Mr. X.
Galliani तो वही हुआ Mr. X.
अरे वो
कौन है Mr. X?
कौन है वही तो था. We thought we are getting Hamsik. फिर आया तो यार भाई तेरे को भूलूंगा बर्टोलाची आ गया. अब Hamsik है बर्टोलाची. यार वो जो लूट
25 million.
ये क्या लूटा है. So you tell me यार, biggest night as a Juve fan.
Yeah, funnily
heartbreaks for you. I think no one has more heartbreaks than Juve.
Guys, I don't even know if our fans know this. So everyone thinks Juve is Italy, right? But they don't know the Champions League credentials. We may have won 2 Champions, but we've been in 9 finals.
7 losses. Yeah.
7 losses, guys. That's a big number. Like Milan, for example, what, 11 finals?
Yeah.
And 7 victories. The gap actually is not that much, right? Finals come down to luck with
of course. No
disrespect intended. So Juve are a very complete team the way I see them. I mean, like the Italian domination, good in the Champions League, just unlucky is the way I see it. For me, the biggest night has to be the night against Madrid. We won in Turin, Del Alpi. Nedved, that final goal was just crazy. I can't tell you, man. I ripped I do this actually very often on big nights. First, I have to take a dump. It's tradition on a knockout night, and then once the dump is satisfactory, I get my real sensation. Is Juve going to win or lose tonight? And that dump was so legendary. I was like, they're killing it today.
This is Paul the Octopus से एक
level. They call me Octopol on our
Octopol,
group, if you remember,
yes,
with legitimacy.
Yeah,
I might add. So, that night they just came out swinging, and like to see that, that was an aura performance.
Yeah.
And that team was Galacticos, really central. Zizou, Figo, R9, and you're taking them on and smashing them. Del Piero, Trezeguet, Nedved, what a performance that was. That night was magical. Funnily enough, that was the semis. We went on to play Milan in the finals.
Yeah.
That was one of the low points, but I think there is a very fair parallel to that was what happened in Perugia.
Oh yeah.
And I think that created like a fear in me where like we were 8 points or 9 points clear, and Ancelotti somehow lost us that game. I won't put
Yeah.
it entirely on him because actually the field was no excuses, but I thought it was unfair. That field was unplayable,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you remember.
Yeah.
But they still put it out there and they made them play, and I think Juve losing that was something in me, like that was like.
Yeah.
So I had like heartbreaks against Madrid in 96, 95, 96, Dortmund 96, 97.
Perugia
Hard
was
heartbreak
2000,
because
right?
there I came in with full
Yeah,
arrogance.
because I don't want to name the team that won the Scudetto.
Yeah.
Perugia was.
But that wasn't that the reason, one of the reasons, dude, I'm very happy because we got Don Carlo after that, but dude, Carlo Ancelotti got sacked because of that.
Guys, look, it was
not on
justified,
him.
but it's very unfair because I'm a big fan of Ancelotti. He's a fucking GOAT coach. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
to me, Lippi is still above, maybe sentiment, whatever. But he's done everything. Won the World Cup, Champions League, Serie A, everything, right? But Ancelotti is right up there, and I mean, like now he's like Champions League. He's the god.
Mr. Champions.
Mr.
Mr.
Champions,
Champions
yeah.
League, essentially. So I was really sad to see him go, but Lippi came back. So you can't contest that. You're suddenly in that safe, secure comfort zone, and you know now your team's going to be back.
Yeah.
And 2 years later,
Yeah.
we know how we won
Yeah.
thanks to your
Yeah.
second favorite team
Yeah,
in Rome.
yeah,
How we won the Scudetto. So it kind of, like I said, that cycle kind of comes back. That victory was also a big
At
high.
least his second favorite. So second, not the first.
Like, I don't know, yeah, since there's also, with the storied clubs, there are big memories, big losses, big wins. But I think, along with the honorable mentions of Perugia and Ancelotti losing his job, there was, of course, what happened in 16 Champions League finals. Hard ones to digest. I think Juve were toe-to-toe with Madrid. They were toe-to-toe with Barca. If you guys remember, there was almost a penalty, and then Barca scoring on the other end. We were up against prime MSN,
Prime MSN, yeah.
prime Ronaldo, Benzema
BBC.
in this thing.
Yeah.
The BBC trio was, I think, they did a fantastic job. So those memories are hard, yeah. And being a Juve fan is not easy on a
But
Champions
do you
League
think
night.
something happened? We've all read news. Something happened at halftime. यार नीचे कुछ तो हुआ होगा. I know some players are denying it.
Yeah.
But the team which was playing till halftime, as you said, toe-to-toe with Real, brilliant goal by Mandzukic. Dybala was terrorizing,
Yeah.
outside the box, cutting
Yeah.
in and all. And then another team came out at halftime. I
Yeah.
think Dani Alves was disconnected.
Yeah.
And he left, I think, immediately
Immediately
that.
after.
Banucci left.
Yeah.
कुछ तो हुआ. It's something. I know there is about as a Juventus fan, something happened because I think Juventus disintegrated second half. And it was
100%. 100%.
I
And
don't
the
think,
final scoreline was 4-1 chance. How do you go from that first half performance to lose?
and I don't think that the Real Madrid were like dominating even
Yeah.
after in the second half. Is that I think they were there was an in fight. I don't know. कुछ तो हुआ होगा यार.
So the rumor is, of course, we've all read it, is that Bonucci started taking on Dybala, and Bazzagli at the time kind of stood up for Dybala, saying just back off. Because Bonucci had also had, by the time they reached the final, he had a fallout with Allegri. So already that relationship was on tenterhooks, and then of course in the final, when you're fighting in the dressing room, or it's rumored to be the case, you don't come out united. Of course, Dani Alves was very much an individual player always. He's a bit of a mercenary. I don't like to use that word on players, but it is what it is. And I think you could see it in the body language. Finally, you saw it in the scoreline. So hard memory, hard one to digest, but you get past it. And then 2 years later, again, you're up against MSN. And then you see this, it's hard, yeah. It's like, I can't tell you, these are moments that they impact you. But the first heartbreak is like legit, like your first. Nothing can beat that.
Yeah, that's
That kind, because you've gotten used to the emotion, right?
yeah.
That emotion, once you've gotten used to, you are able to still, you've seen it before. You will get past it. It hurts, but you get past it sooner.
Yeah.
No. I disagree with you. Last weekend when Como beat us 2-0, I'm like, no, not
Like I
this.
said, Como
Not
made
this
Roma
shit.
coma.
Not this shit again, man.
Yeah.
My wife was saying, what are you doing? Like, I was just preparing to head to bed and I was watching it and I'm like banging it. What? Defend.
Yes.
And उसके बाद में last goal तो पूरा खाली था. Nico Pass.
First of all, it's just funny. Goal. You saw what Cutrone did. That should not happen. In footballing terms, Cutrone should not be doing that.
Yeah.
But Cutrone is not just past his prime, he's past his playing days. I
I'm
feel.
happy that
100%.
Cutrone did it, not Belotti, given the track record.
But
But I've got one question for all of us. It's really interesting, even for the viewers. Alternate universe, okay? Chins is not Santa. Alternate universe. Chintz is not a Milan fan. I'm not a Juve fan. AJ is not a Roma fan. Yogesh is not a Napoli fan. Given the climate of football, which club do you think you would support? Champions League, even if they're not from Italy. Open question. Let's start with you, Chintz.
Oh wow, this is very difficult, yeah. It's like choosing a Sultan, something like that, Yeah, it's very hard, I've always said that I have a bias to Arsenal, but again, that's as a lot of our Gunners, know that it's a terrible club to support, There's heartbreak and heartbreak, But I think,
Hotel.
Yeah. I think I'm probably a sucker for that at times, I feel, yeah. A big Wenger fan. So I think alternatives बोल सकते that it would have been or could have been an Arsenal fan, proper hardcore Arsenal fan, but then again ये जितने बाल और सफेद हो जाते थे अगर Arsenal का fan होता तो probably like I feel like I've always enjoyed Atletico Madrid in recent times. Like not enjoyed it, but I like that the
mentality.
Yeah, mentality.
But could you be their fan? I mean, sustainably.
Yeah, not fan, but I don't want to say Real Madrid and all because I'll be.
You can. I mean, it's reality.
No, I'm not. Yeah, it's very hard to say Real Madrid.
What about a Serie A club, like alternate Serie A club?
Yeah, again, if I say a soft spot, I would go for Roma. When it comes to sport, again, इससे ट्रिपल आर्सेनल वाले से ट्रिपल वाइडर हो जाते हैं शायद बाल ही नहीं होते शायद so yeah probably बोल सकते हैं I'm a sucker for misery like Arsenal, Roma. I've always liked Roma, so PlayStation पे अगर कभी-कभी chance मिलता था तो
unrequited love जिसे कहते हैं.
Yeah, something like that, and not again. Roma comes from the fact, not from Totti's perspective, from De Rossi's perspective.
Got it.
A big De Rossi fan.
That's deep, man. I mean, then there is a sense of, because Totti he's a generation player.
No,
so
and see,
it's
probably
easy to
no,
convert.
another thing, Deej, is the way I play. I'm not a creative player as a player, so I associate more with De Rossi.
The hard-working players.
The more heart.
Got it.
And I never get over that moment where at San Siro he was telling, "Arey, Insigne ko bejo, mere ko nahi bejo."
That was amazing. Yeah.
That was amazing. That just shows all heart.
Leader.
So it's very hard to say. I like how Atletico played. Again, not a team which is what do you call it, the favourites. Underdog mentality hai. Rome, because I think it's this. So I think an Arsenal fan, very hard to say. I love how under Klopp how Liverpool have played. History-wise, if you just compare just Milan and any other club, I would go with European glory-wise. I would go with Liverpool.
Obviously,
so something like that. I think इसमें से, but yeah, something like that. Not with I think Bayern and Real. I think नहीं होता मेरे से. I feel. But a Roma Arsenal would be something I would be.
Got it. AJ?
I really like Leeds United back when I started watching football.
Man,
Yeah.
wow.
What a team they were.
You're a full niche fan. Yeah.
Mark Viduka, Harry Kewell.
Yeah.
That was a fun team.
There's one game
Fun
where they
team.
cost Arsenal the title.
Yeah.
They won
That was
at
a fun team.
Highbury में जीते हम लोग.
Fun team.
But Leeds got relegated, so probably I wouldn't have supported Leeds, back in the day.
Right.
But probably in that aspect, maybe Liverpool, because Liverpool again with the whole underdog
History.
mentality, the way that they came back against Milan, just the overall feel, Anfield and stuff like that. Great story as well. Possibly rooting for Liverpool in the long run in the Premier League. Had Leeds United stayed, maybe, probably Leeds. And in Italy, one of my first jerseys I got was a Euro 2000 jersey. Fake Kappa tha, but Kappa tha. Uske piche tha Inzaghi 9. So I'm not a striker, but I loved Inzaghi.
But which Inzaghi? The Juve Inzaghi or the Milan Inzaghi?
Milan Inzaghi. So Pipo had just moved, I think, from...
Trezeguet had come in
and
he had a
Pipo
good
had
season. And
actually, back in the day, I had an Inter jersey with Adriano 10. Milan jersey with Inzaghi 9. Italy jersey also with Inzaghi 9 because... And I still remember his celebration. The way that he would go crazy.
I don't think any player celebrated like Inzaghi. Uska ek toenail bhi lag jata. He celebrated like he scored a worldly goal.
That was, like...
That's Inzaghi for you,
I remember, Chins, I used to hate Inzaghi. Del Piero Inzaghi was like, what a combo that
people don't realize
they were telepathic.
Yeah, they were amazing.
But in hindsight, when you look at a player like that, there's a lot of intelligence. He'd only score a tap-in.
Yeah. But
his movement, to be on that spot, waiting for the rebound or to just tap it in. What intelligence in the box.
Yeah.
The only guy, of course, there's a little bias, but like when Trezeguet came in and had the season he had, that's why they sold Inzaghi, I saw that in Trezeguet. He could do those angles and everything. I just found him more lethal because he had a little bit more facet outside the box and he had a better header. But Inzaghi, you really value him today when you see his ability in the box. So yeah, so I totally get it. Yogesh, coming to you like Napoli chorke, even if you want to leave Italy, given that you don't watch any other league, is there a possibility that you'd support a team outside of the Italian league, or you think within Italy there's a team, Juventus?
So I was back in the day I used to like Stevan Jovetic a lot.
Oh,
Jojo.
Jojo.
Fiorentina.
So City.
Man City.
Fiorentina.
I know Fiorentina, but he moved to City also.
So we have
मेरा एक दोस्त है Harsh, big Fiorentina.
in-house.
He's sitting behind the camera. We'll get you in.
Everyone say hi to Harsh.
So like I would have been a Fiorentina fan, and also because like Florence is a place that I wish to visit pretty soon if things manifest.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Under wraps, yes.
Under wraps.
So yeah.
अच्छा हो तूने लाजियो नहीं बोला.
वो तो नहीं
ये
बोला.
गरम चाय यहाँ पे है.
Deej, what about you, man?
You know, guys, funnily enough, so you end up watching a lot of Champions League and whatever. So for me, like, I've always had a respect and affection for Milan, but I feel like in an alternate universe, the team that kind of mirrored Juve the most for me was Bayern.
I was just going to say,
Like-
you should ask me, I would have just said Bayern. He's always been a admirer.
A big admirer of and Hitzfeld, man. That team was a battleship. Like you just had to have respect for the way they went about business. Most importantly, like they were consistent, and they had great mentality, which would, in many ways, it's always reminded me of Juve and Bayern kind of mirror each other very
With the
beautifully.
league dominance.
And also Champions League, like the way they play their football, like no fear.
Juve, I think they've been so underwhelming in the Champions League. They should have had more titles.
More
just
titles,
like you.
100%, but they do kind of have titles. So
No, but 6 is still less. See the decade where
For
Real
sure.
Madrid dominated. You
For
see the
sure.
Bayern team.
For sure.
They've lost to a Chelsea team,
For
which
sure,
is
for
unfortunate,
sure.
whatever it is.
Also very consistent. Like you'd see them in the semis consistently.
Yeah, for sure.
And they didn't have. You would never see them play with fear.
Yeah.
They always played their game unapologetically. So like massive respect for them. Respect for Milan, but I think I would have been like a Bayern fan maybe.
Hollywood.
FC
Hollywood.
Yeah.
But and another company.
And also well-run club chains. Like
Very
we underrate actually, the people behind the club.
Yeah.
A lot of clubs are actually lost in that department. Especially in the Moneyball League, which is the Premier League. The wrong people are running the biggest clubs.
Yeah.
Always chopping and changing. Bayern is run so efficiently. Like massive respect for them. Proper football people.
And another thing, like Juventus, they've supplied a lot of players to the national team.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, you see a major chunk of a national team being from Bayern.
Correct.
But it is actually, जब we just this question was floating around, it's like really you feel like you're cheating, right? It's like thinking of. अभी चल before एक आ गया है. So I'll give you 3 teams. The player you liked from all the 3 teams, 4 teams. हम लोग जो I'm including Inter here.
Yeah.
So your favorite player from your opposition, okay? Go with you first. Inter. Or like I'm not just saying now. History.
History.
Yeah.
R9, man. Inter.
Okay.
Hands down.
Roma.
Hard one. I think as I graduated in my football journey as a fan, like my love for De Rossi kept growing. But like to see what Totti did at club level is one thing where you just think he's the central figure, right? But to go and inherit that and take that to what he did in the national team, I think Francesco Totti is, he was like in his prime, like Del Piero was just coming off the injury of the ACL and everything. The way I saw Totti emerge, fantastic. Like,
Actually, this is the original battle in online football forums before Ronaldo versus Messi. Who is better, Totti or Del Piero?
OG
was
battle.
so long,
Right,
but not a fair battle to be honest. Because that
different
Del Piero was different position. Also, that Del Piero was not the same.
After the injury,
He was a different level of player.
What I meant is from that angle.
Yeah.
Because
that
was
also
the
national
debate.
team. Like
National
everyone
team was
saw
there.
them competing,
Yeah.
but they were not really competing. And so Totti for me. Roma.
Napoli.
Not too many to choose from, but we were linked with Cavani, never linked with Lavezzi, maybe in passing. But I think my favorite Napoli player would have to be Hamsik. Yeah, Marek.
And Milan.
Too many, man. Too many. Like, too many. That team's been stacked for too long. Kind of like Juve again. Pirlo though we got. So, I don't want to get into that. But if I had to just pick one, I mean, you obviously picked the Aura player, Maldini, 100%. But too many. That midfield was stacked for too long. Not so many. Like, I've never seen, like, Sheva is an Aura player, but I've never seen, like, I think there were better players than him, even in that Milan team. Like, if you miss Sheva, you still didn't think you were in trouble.
We were known for midfield and defense, more or less.
100%. They're too strong, too stacked. So, too many to choose from, but I think Maldini, just the order.
Tere liye. Let's go with Juve.
Juve, I was just telling Harsh that when Mumbai played Delhi in the ISL first year, although I'm a Mumbai City fan, just went to watch Alex Del Piero. You know, just for Del Piero, man, because he's playing in India, in your city. Obviously you have to go and watch him. So, has to be Alessandro Del Piero, man. From
And
Juve.
just my luck, guys, on that story when he was here, someone had planned a surprise and he was going to be shooting an ad with a production house. And just on those dates, I was meant to travel. And I missed me. I was going to meet him. I was going to shake his hand and I was going to get that photo off.
So I'm going to put this out. We are going to get Alex Del Piero on Calcio Charcha. On this couch. Between you and me over here, right?
ADP, if you're listening, please.
Add me to the list because my
Bucket
Juve
list.
answer has to be that on list.
Bucket list.
Has to be.
Let's move to Napoli.
Napoli has to be Cavani because he's terrorized us so many times. I wanted Cavani. Not Hamsik because from Palermo there was a possibility that we would sign Cavani, and you know,
got it.
We need that bomber figure always at Roma. So Cavani has to.
He would have killed it.
Killed it.
Roma really suit his style of play actually.
So
would have done very well.
Milan का मैं Inzaghi नहीं बोलूँगा. I want to give a different answer because again a guy who doesn't get enough flowers. I loved him.
Seedorf.
No. It's Gattuso.
De Rossi, Gattuso, hand in hand.
Just imagine.
If you're a De Rossi fan, you're going to be a Gattuso fan. He's the OG.
Has to be.
And Inter?
Inter has to be Adriano, man. What a player. Generational talent. He did come to Roma for 6 months.
But AJ, he's one of those guys who just, didn't make it in the end. Like, poor
I know.
I saw his farewell game right now. Did you see it? I think his son scored on.
It's very sad what happened to him. Mental health is something which is not spoken about enough.
At his peak,
what a player.
But he's the only one who had in FIFA
99 power.
100. Only player with 100
Not
power.
only 100 power, the guy had the build, he had the movement, he had the agility, he had everything. He's the closest thing to R9 on paper.
R9 himself said it. That through 2-3 years of his peak was
100%.
And he did, eventually sign for Roma for 6 months. During that phase where, but that Adriano, that Inter Adriano, or even before that, when he was at Parma or Fiorentina at loan, what a beast, man.
चलो योगेश पे आते हैं.
Yeah.
योगेश मतलब ऐसा
यूवे कोई नहीं, रोमा कोई नहीं.
एने ऑप्शन है ही नहीं तेरे लिए.
Go back to Naples.
Start with Juve.
Cameron Essi.
Oh,
respect.
The only guy who cut his pony after the World Cup, he promised it. He promised it.
Too good. What a player, man.
I liked him. I have a jersey with Cameron Essi on my local football.
Respect.
Oh, nice. Juventus नहीं लिया लेकिन.
Juventus नहीं.
अगर लेता भी था, black and white उसको paint करके blue कर देता था. Azzurri.
What about Roma?
Roma, it is obvious Totti.
Oh, nice. And Milan?
Kaká.
Also, man.
We forget about him, man. With the Italians in the
mix.
Did
you see the video of Kaká's son?
Oh, same. You have to see the video of Kaká. He moves like him.
Do you guys know the story about Kaká? Where his wife divorced him.
Yeah.
He's
for being too perfect.
Too perfect.
What a guy, yeah.
Never seen it. Never heard.
And you could see that goodness in him on the field also. He was a gentleman of the sport.
Listen, there's a very amazing story about him. Is that on the pitch he lost this shit against Giggs. Okay, against when he played against United, and he said
United goal, man.
Yeah. So he abused Giggs or something. And he lost his cool and all. After the game, he took Gattuso because Gattuso spoke English. He took him to the United dressing room to apologize to Giggs.
Fabulous.
But I have to say, Kaká was a visionary.
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
Yeah. YK.
So that is something you don't see. Like, come on, he went to say sorry that it's not me, and he always said his thesis, I belong to Jesus because he had terrible accident. So he said the God in me does not permit me to abuse anyone because we are rivals, but human beings. So that is something, as you said, ऐसा हो सुनते हैं ना, you and not just me. I think he probably one of the very few players I think not hated by any player, any fan.
Yeah,
everyone
you can't
loved
hate him. You can't hate Kaka.
There are those players you just respect. You know, like the guy can never be a mercenary.
Yeah,
He's a guy who respects the club he plays for genuinely. He won't move only for money.
Yeah.
Very few players today, though.
You can't.
Kaka, you can't.
replicate
You
that.
can't.
वो भाई तेरे इंटर बाकी इंटर
Inter बाकी है.
Inter, Zanetti.
पूरा Argentinian का.
something with Argentina. It was Argentina and it.
Naples,
Inter.
Argentina and
No, and Milan with Brazilians. ऐसा था and Italians with you. मतलब
And French.
Yeah. अभी French. अभी हो गया.
In fact, Milan and Roma का Brazilian contingent has always been like.
Always. We always.
Sadly, अभी कोई Brazilian है ही नहीं यार. There's no one playing in Serie A anymore.
Yeah.
Everyone's in the Premier League.
Only Bremer.
But with you, so Juve and Brazil was never a mix.
No, it was, but it wasn't the magical players. It was not the visionaries. It was the defensive guy, Bremer, Emerson.
Yeah.
If you remember when we got him from Roma.
Yeah.
So
Emerson felt like he was born in the wrong country. He should have been an Italian.
Italian.
Because he was nothing aura about him. Like, you see, Brazilian with flair. Emerson wasn't always flair.
He's very Italian.
But there is something with.
तेरा बाकी है.
हाँ, मेरा Juve Del Piero, man. Del Piero. I can never forget that famous free kick. No, the Real Madrid.
With the
getting a standing ovation. And again, I would put him in that mold of Kaká, where at least I never hated him. I don't know any Milan fans who hate him. He's a player
You
never.
don't hate players at that level. Yeah, you can't hate a Maldini, you can't hate a Totti, you can't hate a Del Piero.
Yeah, so he's something.
Legacy
Del
players.
Piero was someone like wow. And it's funny enough. I'm very picky when it comes to strikers. Very honest. And I will not put Zlatan in my list. So after Del Piero, I always loved Shevchenko and of course I'm talking about R9 and that was a generation. Uske baad there was no one, which leads to my next answer was Cavani. The only other striker I fell in love with. Wow, what a player with the long hair. And what I loved about
unfortunate end to his career, but
I
feel like he should have moved to Juve.
Exactly, should have.
Genuinely, I feel like
He should have moved.
Trajectory after Naples, he lost continuity.
No, but even after going to PSG, he was
PSG
not the so-called the star player over there, but kept banging goals. Yeah, there was Zlatan with him. There were so many ego battles.
Work ethic,
yeah, exactly.
Fabulous.
And you know what I love? There's a video of him doing rounds at United. Ronaldo gave up. He chased the ball from the right.
Yes, I remember that.
Oh, boss, yeah, you love such players.
Love it.
So there was a big emptiness when it comes to strikers for me. यार कोई अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है. And then Cavani came in. I was like, boss, क्या player है यार. Of course, when he went to वो Palermo से fine tune होके Napoli का तभी he became the player he was.
Right.
And when he was back Chelsea के सामने जो goals मारता, I was like, boss, again fearless. I thought, to be very honest, Napoli crumble हो जाएगी, Stamford Bridge है, Chelsea है, but boss, he was like there. Yeah, something like that.
So Roma, I think you answered Naples and Juve.
Yeah, as I Roma, De Rossi बोला है. Love De Rossi, man. Love De Rossi as a player. And
Inter
R9. I told you.
It's too hard.
And I was discussing in the stream. There are 3 legendary photos for me, जो मैंने देखा है. Photo frame which became iconic, defined football for me at least. One is the Materazzi and Rui Costa.
Rui Costa.
That one.
Watching the flares. What a legend. Defines what Milan derby is. Secondly, there's a picture of R9 being tackled by Maldini and
Cannavaro. What a pick that is.
Italy versus Brazil.
What a picture, and which of course Maldini का भी define कर रहा था कि was I had to tell Cannavaro come with me to mark him. Defines the aura of that player and defines the generation. 2 great defenders.
3-0.
3-0. Well done. So this is good for you, man. Calcio Charcha is good for you. And the third picture is when Maradona signed for Napoli and he's walking out and there are camera around him and he was not wearing a Napoli, he was wearing a t-shirt and jeans, I think. Jeans pehna tha and he's walking out and the entire stadium is full. And again, not talked about enough what he bought to Serie A.
Of course, man.
Winning the league. So
100%.
These 3 pictures for me defined football in its own way. This was a Milan derby. This is like 2 great defenders
100%.
trying to stop probably the OG, something like that. And and this one was Maradona when he took over Serie A. Well, Milan was That Milan was different sauce. You know, coming and stopping that Milan, winning the league titles.
Crazy.
So when he walked in, and as you know, we all know South or North का क्या था, they were considered the untouchables, और वो उधर गया. And you imagine, अभी सब लोग बोले Ronaldo was welcomed by so many fans. That was his welcome. He's just walking in with the media and he's just looking stadium packed. Boss, aura बोलते हैं इसको, you know.
100%. In fact, Yogesh को पूछा, so if you can zoom into his jersey, so this is given to the team who wins the Italian league. This is the Scudetto patch. And this is the Coppa Italia bullseye.
Yeah.
So you win the cup. तो मैं इसको कौन सा साल when Napoli won the double, the league and cup.
Maradona year.
It's the Maradona year.
Maradona year.
So
Maradona for you.
बस अभी थोड़ा एक अभी तो यार we all know you guys as fans यार, like, but and DJ is of course so creative when it comes to things and all, and we heard he loves going for concerts and all. So you just went for Bryan Adams concert and all. So is that the music? What about DJ, the guy who loves music, movies, retro movies? What is it you love the most? Okay, better. Let me frame it better. Tensed, work stress, Juventus not winning, Droventus going on. The music you go back to on your phone. Just the music which is DJ and the music only.
Yeah, I think music is such a diverse, vast form of expression that it's hard to have one genre in particular. And I think also music is different as we go through our journey in life.
Phases,
right?
different phases.
Like when you're young and everything, it's about hope and romance.
Yeah.
So you can't skip like a Bryan Adams. Like those kind of love songs. You can't. I'm also an old soul. Not only an old person, but also like
so in reality, your age is like 95.
100%.
The old lady.
The old gentleman. But yeah, so for me also big Rafi Kishore Kumar fan. I mean that's the kind of stuff that you take in. But I'm also, I think as things have happened, as I've become the Desi Pirlo, there's also a little bit of jazz that I listen to over a glass of wine. And I alternate and EDM. I mean, I'm a fan of DJ Ollie SA, if you've heard of her.
Never heard of her.
I mean, look out. So that kind of music is cool too. But yeah, if I had to go to like a concert, guys, I mean that also is bucket list, right? Like
we were there in the Backstreet Boys concert, but we didn't meet each other.
Oh man, so Backstreet Boys when they came, that was they're like an aura, yeah. Like
listen, it takes you back, nostalgia. It connects you to your childhood, right?
100%. And those college days, right? Like they're priceless.
Yeah.
School and college, Backstreet Boys.
I remember Malaika Arora Khan. She came and I was wearing a Backstreet Boys t-shirt.
Oh.
And she was staring. I thought she was staring at me. So I was like, yeah.
Of course.
No, you have to tell I do the staring.
AJ, she was staring at you. Please, don't underestimate yourself.
Well, more expressions than Arjun Kapoor.
Savage. AJ on fire.
So yeah, and I don't know if you guys did U2. So I've done U2.
Did U2.
Coldplay, guys, if anyone can help me with the tickets, please.
Yeah,
please.
Coldplay se yaad aaya. Yogesh has got a good story.
Yeah. So
hack kar de yaar, side de mujhe tickets 18th ke liye.
So we have an intern at my company who is going for the Coldplay. He got a tickets through a lot of, I don't want to say it, but through a lot of hacks.
He said it.
So and he actually like found out about me, my company, and Calcio Charcha while he was a subscriber to Calcio Charcha. So he went out, searched what we do and all, and he actually applied at my company, and he's an employee now.
So
is he a Napoli fan?
No, he's not a Napoli.
क्या कर रहा है तू? मैं इसको रोमा fan बनाता हूँ.
By the way, you have to give it, boss. We are looking this as our what do you call it? Free अपना mind space थोड़ा free रखना है. थोड़ा this is our safe space. You know, like this is our therapy. We talk about football. भाई उसमें ये hire कर रहा है.
हाँ.
भाई इसको बोलते he's not switched off.
YDL for a reason.
Yes. But you know Ajay, when you were telling me, I'm sure.
Did you guys do U2 by the way?
No. My brother was flying out, so I couldn't go.
Oh, I did U2.
That's bucket list, boss.
Yeah,
like how can you like?
I did U2, and just a story. My son was a month old.
Oh wow.
Just a month old, and we bought tickets, and my wife's like, "You can't miss this. You have to go." A lot of guilt. I went for it, but I'm a big fan of With or Without You. Was goosebumps.
Which other song of you do?
Aura song.
With
Where the
Streets
have
have
no
no
name.
name.
I mean, like when Bono came on stage, boss, I was in tears. Again, aura, yeah. Like how
Boss, and I'm a big Oasis fan. He got Liam Gallagher on, boss. I was like, boss,
Mind blowing.
अभी रुलाएगा क्या तू रो तो लिया अभी क्या चाहिए तुझे भाई किडनी ले ले ऊपर स्टेज पे बुला दे यार Bono and Liam Gallagher on stage. I was like,
Mind
boss,
blowing.
I thought there were rumors, but I said no, that can't be him. Then he announced it, and then A.R. Rahman came on stage. Was swiped, tha yaar.
Superb.
And deserved the D.Y. Patil because
Yeah.
And what I liked about it was more or less our generation.
Yeah.
So it was just I'm looking at someone like a boss. We've gone through that, with or without you is a. I'm sure we've all.
It's a heartbreak, unrequited love.
Yeah. In a relationship, you
tarfa
want to be with, but
Ek tarfa.
Yeah, ek tarfa. And another story when you Brand Adams, I'll never forget Heaven because the first girl I had a crush on, वो कभी बोला नहीं, but अंदर वही गाना बज जाता है. Maybe you're all that I want.
100%.
So something like that, that music is something which connects, it is
100%.
But जब ये बोल रहा था, देसी पिलो, I don't know, it is just I've known him for a while, but जब से मैं इसको जान रहा हूँ, DJ with a glass of wine and jazz is something which I always thought you'd do.
Picture.
There's a picture of Pirlo sitting in a vineyard with a glass of wine. Boss, I'm telling you, that's him. वो Pirlo नहीं है. That's him, boys. That's him. But just something like that, and it is very amazing that this kind of music will connect at least us.
Yeah.
100%.
Us because we're in the same age bracket. बोल सकते हैं.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but Yogesh, तेरे लिए क्या था? Because we have grown up with that pop culture of Backstreet Boys. I'm sure you've heard of them, but connection इतना नहीं होगा तो तेरे लिए.
Well, you may not enjoy their music as much, right? But I'm sure, I feel like you'd be a Rafi fan, a Kishore fan. I feel.
Classic
Could be wrong.
No, not actually. I used to, back in college, I used to listen to a lot of Poets of the Fall.
Carnival of Rust.
वो पुणे में आए. They came to perform in Pune.
Oh, really?
And the audience, my brother was there. They said that Poets of the Carnival of Rust 5 बार almost बजाया लोग ने because they wanted only that song.
Of course.
Yeah. And Opeth was.
Oh, so this man is.
No, actually I was going to say he in secret he'll be like punk rock, not punk rock. क्या उसको बोलते हैं ऐसा heavy metal, hardcore metal जो अपन ने सुना भी नहीं.
By the way, this is something to do with IT. IT people a lot into it.
You're right.
Death metal.
I am too. I love. As he said, when you grow up, different phases of life. तो जब भी मैं भी कॉलेज में था वो Blink 182 and
they were saying death metal and all that just
No, I'm saying वो
Yeah, growling and all.
देखा.
So any other band जो top
ऐसा
Like
band
Indian में there's Bhayanak Maut. I don't know if you're a fan.
Yeah,
but
I've heard of.
They're also big. I mean.
So any other bands? We Poets.
Name a band that we haven't heard of, which is like a death metal band that you listen to.
Avenged Sevenfold.
They just came.
Yeah.
Last year I think Lollapalooza में आए थे. I think
अच्छा, they came.
They came. You went for it?
No, I didn't.
Oh, my friend went for it. They were again. People were very positively surprised by how they were singing. So they had 3 stages. और second stage में perform कर रहे थे. He pulled the audience towards him apparently. So.
तो Children of Bodom सुनता है?
I've heard it. Yes.
Heard it ना. मेरा एक दोस्त था. He wanted to impress this chick who was a goth fan. तो उसने Children of Bodom and he was like, yeah, I got a new t-shirt, Children of Bodom. and she was Bodom.
So, but मेरे लिए तो death metal और metal जो भी बोल सकते हैं ended with probably Metallica I guess. उससे आगे तो
100%.
Iron Maiden and Metallica was something which
Yes.
Metallica is something which I.
What about Van Halen?
Van Halen was.
Big fan.
Big.
Panama Jump, really good.
Yeah, मेरे लिए for me I think something which I was stable रहा है over the years has been Green Day. Oh, something which has stayed with me forever. When उसका एक दुखी करके album आया था early mid 90s, I was like, wow, this is some different music, And I still remember there was a very famous video they performed at one very famous punk rock fest where someone threw a cake. He caught it and he ate it.
You'd expect that,
Yeah, but
you'd
it was
expect
so smart and Billy's hair, and उसके drummer भी Trey, he's like crazy guy. I was like, boss, ये क्या है? And then they came up with American Idiot that week.
But like since they became a lot softer, but do you see the evolution really began when Metallica, Nirvana, Guns N' Roses, and then that just became like softer, which led to really like the soft punk.
Led Zeppelin.
All
In the
Led
house.
Zepp, amazing.
100%.
But Metallica ka very good story is the song Nothing Else Matters. was rejected, as in he didn't want to put it forward because it was, this is not the song which we play, and then they encouraged him to come out with that song because it's not what the Metallica is, you know, Master of Puppets ke baad imagine listening to something like Nothing Else. But he said no, pour it out. He wrote it for his girl. He came out with that song, and of course it's a legendary song, Nothing Else Matters. But Metallica is something I feel it's always been with me when it has all emotions covered. Like, you know, it has all, like, I love The Unforgiven, you know. It has something which is like, when it comes to, it is relevant now. Like years down the line, Led Zeppelin, I think all these bands are, I think longevity is a thing where they're still relevant now.
Also how they age, na, that music ages but it doesn't leave you.
Yeah.
Like Lucky Ali, for example.
Oh,
I mean, like, he performed yesterday, day, I didn't even know.
I saw him live. I've seen him live. I went to Mud Island.
That is one thing I have to catch.
you have to.
Like,
I saw him in Dubai.
Listen, I went for Lucky Ali.
Yeah, the Mud Island one was quite a
it was a very chill setup.
Yeah, but that's what you want. That's what you want.
And
UB40 came, like, they were underground, but like, you want to catch that kind of stuff.
And Lucky Ali, when he came in, and I'm not joking, I'm not saying no one was crying, but of course he kept it for the end. When he sang that song, I was like, yaar, this is full flashback. This is childhood.
Exactly. This takes you back, man.
And
like,
I was like, wow, Duba Duba Rehta Hu. Oh my God, those songs. There's something which just touches us. You might not have heard that song in years. वो कुछ दिल के तारे को छू लेते हैं ऐसे गाने. मतलब, you know, something like that, and it's very soothing. And he just came up with another verse. Goa में उसने बैठ के.
right. That's very popular on YouTube.
Yeah, he's just come out with the second verse of that song, and he was so honest. He came on this Move Other Shakers, yaad hai?
Shakers.
He came, he said that, he was so honest, a guy who's come up with a banger, O Sanam. He said that, boss, ऐसे गाने लिखते हैं ना, वो शायद एक आर्टिस्ट के लाइफ में एक ही बार आता है.
Which comes from a very special place.
Yeah, but these no artist is so open about it.
True,
वो बोलेगा, boss, this is, I'll come out with another song.
Very true.
He was very open कि ऐसे गाने एक बार आते हैं. Boss, he left everything, became a farmer in Australia. I think probably you can say a true artist था वो. Lucky Ali is probably is.
In fact, during this horrible Roma season, the music that I've been falling back to has been the music of the Beatles. You know, so they're always a band that I would go back to in good times and bad times. And of course, this season has been poor. There is a movie, I don't know if you guys have watched it, called Yesterday.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Where that guy is, there's no Beatles songs
out.
And that guy comes out all Beatles. Oh, what a movie,
That scene with John Lennon. Oh my God, epic, man. What a movie, man. What a brilliant movie.
And that is what, it's something which connects. You know, there's something which in indirect connection happens to the song.
Correct.
And as you said, you can just revisit it again. Yeah. But then let me just go one song. I know there must be a buttload of songs.
Too many, yeah.
No, come on, Dij. You have to just get rapid. It's just, if I tell you one song which is forever for you, like this relevant when Dij was 15, Dij was 25, 35, a song which has been relevant for you forever. One song. Think. Sab log soch lo. Okay. One Hindi, one English.
So, like, look, when you choose a song, I won't say it's a song that defines who we are.
Not defines you.
I'm just clarifying that. I feel like it could be a song that it's just like evergreen when it plays in your head. It's the same energy with which you receive it. I think for me, it would have to be Summer of '69 because not that the lyrics are mind-blowing, it's a very obvious perhaps answer, but I think it's the way I connect with that song at every point.
Those were the best. That line itself.
The best days of my life, right? Like.
Listen, one honest confession. Back then, when I heard it, I had no idea Summer of '69 what it meant.
What it meant. I don't even know if our friends here know. I mean,
it's okay. Let them find out by themselves.
Let them find out by themselves. Yes.
Look it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think Summer of '69 for me is just. There's just like an constant energy flow between me and that song. So it doesn't define me, but it always takes me back to a good place.
Yeah, so that's exactly one. And one Hindi, if I had to pick.
Yeah, I'm a romantic at heart.
We expect him to be romantic. I'll tell you one small Deej story. If he allows me to tell his proposal story, I'll tell you the story
about defining more, not defining, but yeah, I think quite a few, but Kabhi Kabhi. मेरे दिल में ख्याल आता.
Oh, what a song! Wow.
Yeah, so that one.
Oh, amazing! I'll tell you mine all-time favorite English song. The band is okay. I'm not a big fan, but Scorpions ka Still Loving You.
Oh yeah.
It's a 8-minute ballad. Oh my God! It still stayed with me.
It's very deep, yeah.
It's very deep. Scorpions are a very underrated band.
By the way, again, they came to India, passing by me either 2007. I saw them live. best.
Oh, you got them? Wow.
I saw them live.
Oh,
and
Solutions, how you had that awareness to catch
was so because that time
because you didn't have access, right? We didn't
yeah,
have like
so one of my friend was working in the radio back then, so we found out about two bands which were performing MLTR, Michael Learns
Michael
to Rock.
Oh my God, love them, bro.
Caught them live. Guess what? I met them in a studio.
What you say?
She was working the radio. She called me. Thank you, Sonam. Thank you so much for that. So she
The
called.
actor, 25 minutes. Like,
Oh, 25 minutes too
Sleeping
late.
Child.
Sleeping Child too, yes, but-
By the way, listen, when I told her I heard that song as a kid and they were like, guys, please don't say that. Yeah, we're not that old.
We're not that old.
अभी हम लोग को ऐसे बोलते हैं ना.
So that I caught them and I'll just to tell you, I was watching one the Berlin Wall documentary back then, and so Winds of Change, the song is on that.
Oh, yeah.
Listen to the when the Berlin Wall was broken down, the Winds of Change, that whistle. So yeah, I saw them live. So that Scorpion, Still Loving You stayed with me forever. So I'm like, you know, when I had a breakup, when I was happily in a relationship, I was still listening to that song. भाई मैं उदास नहीं हूँ तो भी क्यों सुना? But as he said, that song stays with me.
Arey, but funnily enough, when I was in a relationship also, no girl ever wanted to go out with me. Also, I'd listen to those songs like I'm in a relationship.
Boss,
So it was
yeah, when you're in a relationship, you breakup कभी करेगी, Still Loving You सुनना है भाई.
fantasizing about like being in
Oh,
some, you know.
exactly. So that song, and there was another Hindi song. I don't know whether the movie was very popular. It came on very later. एक तो मैं पल दो पल का शायर हूँ.
Oh, wow.
My God, that song. When you grew up, I realized what it meant,
Yeah,
of course. And second song was, there was a very famous movie called Gangster, which had come.
Oh, yeah.
उसमें एक हमारी अधूरी Biggie. And there was a Bangladeshi singer, yes. Oh my God, that's James. What a song. So these two songs stayed with me, and that time as when I was not in a relationship, I was like, भाई कोई date करो, कोई breakup करो तो ये गाने सुन लूँ मैं यार ऐसा. So it was something like that which stays with you throughout. So these two songs have stayed with me. Ajay,
कॉल कर मुझे, कॉल कर. सुनाता हूँ तुझे.
अरे ऐसा है.
तो ऐसा ये तो एक मिनट लाउड में डाल कर वॉल्यूम बढ़ाता हूँ.
I think भीगे होठ तेरे
Oh,
had to be mentioned.
Had to be Sweet Child of Mine.
yeah.
So this was my caller tune for years and years together. So whenever people would call and they were like, यार Sweet Child of Mine वापस सुन रहा हूँ, तुम्हारे लिए मैंने रखा है because that's an iconic song that will always stay with me. Hindi में the song that generally I used to sing to my girlfriend and then now wife was रात का लिए ख्वाब में आई.
Oh wow.
So sing that to her. Probably that is what kind
No,
of.
true romantic.
True romantic, yeah, bro.
romantic.
Come on, Roma fan,
to
yeah,
be.
has to be a true romantic.
So I think that's a song that actually convince her कि हाँ चलो ये बंदा ठीक ठाक है चलो.
बॉस एक चीज याद रखो ना, वो बहुत फेमस मीम है ना, if your guy लड़की का मीम था, if your guy supports a team which does not win regularly, he's a green flag because he will stay loyal no matter what.
Yeah.
No matter what. So yeah, nothing
You know
better
it.
than this. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
So yeah, these are good. अबे तेरा चैन कौन सा death metal, dark metal song सुनाएगा? Opeth और
Nah. So my all-time favorite song is Stairway to Heaven.
Oh,
that song is something
that
else.
live concert with that twin head guitar.
Oh.
That Robert Plant
किधर?
plays. अरे जो live Stairway to Heaven version है. There's a live Stairway to Heaven which is after 2 drinks. That's the best.
Yeah.
Boss, there was a concert which happened which he performed, where he performed Stairway to Heaven for 16 minutes.
Yeah.
Boss,
Mind blowing.
people were shaking. Stairway to, I think Robert Plant had some other energy which cannot be ever mirrored, I feel.
Yeah.
But yeah, great choice, man. And Hindi mein?
Hindi में I don't listen to a lot of Hindi songs, but Shan ka I used to listen to a lot of songs.
Tanha Dil.
Tanha Dil.
Dude, it's so iconic, him walking.
Oi.
Boss, that was something.
That was a transition for us, at least you and me, because we were born from school, college.
Yeah.
That era,
Oh, yeah, it was something else, man. And then, that is what, that time, एक था pop culture. But there एक channel था, you could call and play the song.
ITV,
MTV
No,
Oxygen. Channel Oxygen and ITV. ये दो channel.
ITV, it was just a channel.
Guys, what about Nikhil Chinnappa on MTV Select?
You know, that is
Select
something
was-
else.
That's
Acha,
different.
okay.
Just
got
a
it.
channel, you could just,
Okay,
it's
got
like
it,
you
got
can
it,
just
got it.
pick call
Got it.
and तन्हा दिल मैं कितनी बार बजाता था उधर because I used to love the whole scenic point and that, and पता है वो सोनू निगम का
yeah.
that song and then उसका बिजुरिया and that time there was a pop culture which was so
Indie pop
amazing.
was so
Indie
good,
pop
man.
was so famous. We had Lucky Ali's, we had those.
You had a Pakistani artist, Strings,
Yeah.
Junoon, Sayoni.
Sayoni was, and who those Colonial Brothers.
Fusion, of course.
Fusion, you've heard? Kamal.
The last concert I went to was Atif Aslam in Dubai.
Oh, you saw him live? Amazing. Yeah. What energy, man.
Amazing. But I don't like Atif per se. I'm a Jal fan more than Atif, and they split. So more of a Gohar Mumtaz fan than Atif. Right. But they don't do live shows anymore. I watched Jal. a year in Bombay.
But where
watch
does all of
things.
that come from? That sound actually comes from the likes of Mehdi Hassan.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course,
And,
Mehdi
and
Hasan,
of
yeah.
course Jagjit.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, was just to tell you, big judges. Oh, his होश वालों को खबर क्या and
Mind blowing,
होठों
mind
से
blowing.
छू लो. That is something वो लगता है वो जैसे मतलब if you like how we are sitting right
इतना
now.
जो मुस्कुरा रहे
Oh,
हैं, mind
I know.
blowing.
By the way, तभी when we were back then, that is, of course you understand the lyrics.
Yeah.
वो deeper meaning बात
That you have to you don't have to listen to those lyrics. You have to experience them.
yeah, live through
And
it.
you have to live through it to really connect.
Yeah.
And I think all of us have actually lived to
Yeah,
now today really appreciate it for what it is.
Because then when I was
Right.
very upset because of course when Jagjit Singh passed away,
Yeah.
वो तभी Twitter का ज़माना आ गया था.
Yeah.
I was very upset that Atif Aslam in Dubai gave him a tribute and इधर उसको ज़्यादा tribute मिला नहीं.
Yeah.
Jagjit Singh is probably a pillar of Indian music. I feel.
100%, 100%.
And unfortunately I didn't get to see him live. I know people who've gone. उसके जो महफिल होती थी, he used to make it fun.
Yeah.
Like he used to crack jokes.
He
in
did
the
a lovely
middle.
thing with his wife Chitra. If you
Chitra,
heard, Tappe.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing, and I equate him a lot with Eric Clapton. Because Eric Clapton lost his son and he wrote a
Yeah.
song Tears in
Tears
Heaven.
in Heaven, yeah.
And
What a
Jagjit Singh
song,
lost his
just
son.
Vivek Singh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a very young age,
Yeah.
And Chitra I think stopped singing after
She stopped
that.
singing
She
after
stopped
that,
singing.
And उसके बाद he wrote that होश वालों को खबर क्या, and I was like, was the
It
pain?
actually it played in this movie Sarfarosh.
Sarfarosh, yeah,
Amir
yeah.
Khan film. Yeah.
So, but imagine the pain, and the song is something about unrequited love, about someone you're chasing.
Yeah.
He's not ever going to tell her, but this is what he's thinking.
Yeah.
To write that song, mourning your son's death. This is called genius. Something like that which you don't
100%.
look into.
And it's pain, right? Like the pain in his voice had already come.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you can feel that with every word. Like
Something. Hey, can you get this now? I don't know. Are we too music oriented now?
borderline, yeah. I feel like
There are some songs.
Arijit has it. Borderline, he touches it and he leaves it. You know.
But no. But I think he won't reach it because.
Unpopular opinion. He sings too many songs.
Yeah,
He
he's
should actually cut
he's
down.
become too commercial.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, but I think he has it in him, as he said, he has it. But I think that's what the audience want. I think, are we too music oriented now? Like we want more music
commercial
beats.
change. It's too. I think
You will never want a host swallow will not work now in a movie.
Because of the algorithm, because of the analytics.
Also, the internet has changed it.
Yeah.
That's why you have to be out there more. Like that season and that dynamic. Of
But will
stardom is not-
will a boy chase a, like in that movie? If you just put the movie, the
Nahi,
song,
yaar,
the
nahi.
will a guy chase someone by tu nahi to?
Ha.
Yeah, today, like, dating culture is what, guys? Like, it's fun. Let's talk about that. In fact, like,
Yeah.
you started something very interesting, right? Like, what is it? Like, in our time, we
Chase the
aspire
girl.
to be with one person, and the idea is you want to get it right with that person. Today, unfortunately, you're mired in dating apps, and it's almost literally left, right swipe, right? So it's not working. Okay, I'm on to the next. I don't want to try and get this right. And I think we've lost a little bit of edge there in dating culture. The kind of people coming through in this sphere and realm, and thank God, right? Like, we don't have to deal with that
Oh
anymore.
boss, I think I'll be lost. I'll be a lost
be
puppy
lost,
right now.
100%.
I think some लोग बोलते हैं like that I think I would be a loner. Like when it comes to this, I think my heart will be broken every weekend.
100%.
Because I feel
100%.
that.
This is after Milan breaks your heart.
Yeah, of course. That happens every weekend. Yeah, please. That happens every
Whatever
weekend.
part of the heart is there.
Whatever part of the heart is.
Bacha kucha heart.
Bacha kucha jo hai. But my point is this, that when we chased the girl, we chased the girl. We were there, dedicated. As you said, we want her affection. We want everything. As you said, and because we chased so much, Deej, that's why a little hiccup would not, steer us away.
I also like the feelings were pure, right? Like you're feeling out that emotion completely. You're not getting distracted. You're not, you genuinely wanted to be with that person, not with the idea of what that person is like.
Now that we're here, can I share that story, please?
What story?
The proposal story.
Sure.
So imagine, again, he's a romantic, and I'm very happy that I was involved in something, his proposal. So his wife, of course, back then got in touch with me that she wants to propose him. Of course, for Saul, another amazing thing that she wanted to propose him, and she was like, the beautiful part about our better halves now is they understand what our club means.
Yep.
And the minute, like, I'm an outsider, right? But the minute I know that she is totally into him was because she wanted to incorporate football and Juventus into the proposal. So we always had a game. We had a fixed game which we always played. Of course, it's broken now because of the ground not being there. So we have a fixed game. We used to play every Mondays. We used to play football. Cooperage. It's fixed. So she got in touch with me. I took her on a Sunday that this is the pitch. She was like, listen, you get all the players, but inform them that the game will go on only for like 15 minutes. Because
I think
half an hour, yeah. So she will come in. We'll act like the lights are gone.
Wow.
She'll come in and
Damn, goosebumps.
Oh yeah, and oh beautiful. It was I teary-eyed, you know, forget him. Yeah. As a friend, I was so happy for him.
Amazing.
It was so beautiful. We did that. I was not into the game at all, and he was worried. He said, Chins, what are you doing? I was like, walls.
The lights went off. Everyone gheroed me. I said, I thought it's end of day, right?
No, I had to like, so I'm not interested. But I'm like, when is she coming? And when is she coming? I was like, his brother said, no, Sharang. He said, I'm not going to play. He wrote out and he's like, you have to coordinate. And I was not into the game and he must be getting pissed off. Why is Chins not playing as he's supposed to play, you know? And then we were losing. So I had a boss, the lights went off. I was like, boss, DJ, we need to make a strategy. How are we going to do this? And he's like, what is happening? Why you guys geroed me and
fully geroed me. I'm like, meri kya galti hai?
I was like, DJ, you are the older. You have to tell us, what are we going to do? And he's trying to look and say, boss, उधर कुछ हो रहा है. I was like, तू इधर देखना यार. By the way, just to tell you, there's another pitch behind
us.
Okay, so we have to tell, and they're also friends. Like I've known them because football group is small, right? Community is smaller.
अर्जुन था क्या?
नहीं, अर्जुन वो टाइम नहीं था, unfortunately. So that is another group जो उधर खेल रहे थे, योगेश. And luckily, because we have multiple football groups, I said, boss, are you guys okay? They were like, of course, if you're okay with this, man. And बाद में वो लोग भी इधर आ गए. So he said, what is happening? And then we moved, and there she was with a Juventus jersey. Please continue what happened after that, like, you know.
Oh, so that's crazy, guys. Like, so, you know, these guys had geroed me. The lights had gone off. And I was just wondering, kya ho raha hai, really? And then suddenly I see like 15 people walk in with black t-shirts. And suddenly I see my name. DHANANJYRAWL. And one by one, the name is flipping. D is becoming W. So Dhananjay Rawal became Will You Marry Me?
Oh,
and while this is happening, Kuch Kuch Hota is also playing.
Yeah,
like, is this in my head or is this really playing?
And she was wearing a Juventus jersey.
And I wasn't wearing a Juventus jersey.
I was like, dude, today only is
all days.
All days, imagine.
He usually likes to play in his yellow jersey. He likes to play in his yellow jersey a lot, and usually we have like, we make the teams. It's colored all.
Yeah.
So I was like, that day only he was not. I was like, yeah, aaj to pehen leta, but it was just, point is, it was romantic, it was beautiful, it was Juventus based. And I think your niece, she turned with the last question mark. I think she was the question mark.
No, Sharang was the question
mark. Sharang, his brother was the question mark.
So, and then they all parted ways and she was standing there.
Oh, wow.
And then I was, so it's almost like a guard of honor. And then I'm walking, someone hands me a bouquet.
Wow.
Black and white bouquet, signify Juventus. And I reach her and then of course, she gets down on her knees and says, will you marry me? And I was like, yeah.
It's all documented. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, and all of them were taking videos. And trust me, everyone said was goosebumps. Because it's
goosebumps right here.
It's integrating something like a marriage proposal into Juventus. Some people say, हाँ ना, एक football team तो है. But this signifies so much. My point is, it's such a, it means, it shows what she understood what Juventus means for it. It's not, it's a life. It's a part of him. You know, if she wants to be a part of him, she has to be a part of Juventus too, right? And invariably, all our better half support our team
100%.
Unknowingly now. You know,
I don't allow my wife to get any sky blue stuff at home.
not allowed.
Like I'm just grateful that like it's an old school union, so to speak, and you know, very grateful to be out of the scene from today's scene, where I just feel like people are lost. Dating app culture, like I was saying earlier, it's just messed people's minds up, you know, like everything's a left.
Do you think too many options?
Too many options, which is what doesn't let you actually feel out a feeling entirely, right? Nahi chala to aage badho. And I'm sure like today people probably name each other by Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? Maybe not Sunday if they're Serie A fans and they want to watch a game. But that's really where I feel like culture has gone today. It's really sad. And you know, I think it'll be interesting to know our stories from a perspective of course, you were perhaps married before the culture kicked in, or
much before. In fact, when I sit with my interns, when I used to, so they used to be on this app, and I used to ask them, "Ye kya hai, bhai? Which app is this?" And I used to sit on an app, and they used to say, "Sir, what is this?" This is FPL. मेरे लिए ये ज्यादा है FPL में किसको कैप्टन में साला ट्रिपल कैप्टन हालैंड and they were like
That's a biggest worry.
that's the biggest worry. So
yeah.
but I was out of it. Like
How long have you been married?
married? Wait, the correct answer is 8 years. 8 years.
Are we listening? Are we listening?
We won't ask you anniversary date. Don't
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to put you on the spot. Yeah.
But dating before that, so you know, before
ये
the
इतना सोचना पड़ रहा है. मैं तेरे को बोलेगा टॉटी का 200th गोल कौन सा था, डेट टाइम बता देगा ये.
yes, yes. In
Oh,
fact,
Totti is love. But yeah. So that is what again. So you are the. I think you dated before you got married. So
yeah.
I'm guessing it's a healthy decade. So with something with me also, it's been a decade. I finished 10 years. So it's been a decade journey if you go to see. So yeah, decade पहले तो I think we're like monkeys. Like you know, I said lost.
But what do you guys feel close to a decade, right? Like, does it get better? Does it get, like, what's the word you'd use to describe? Does it get better? Does it get stronger? Do you feel like you have grown as a person because of the life experience that you've shared with someone else? Or is it like you feel like you would be better, stronger, irrespective of whether this happened?
No chance. For me, no chance.
Same,
Absolutely. I'm the person only because of my wife. Yeah. I am like, you know, like a playful guy, you know, this and that, you know, something, I can say, you know, you need to pull the rein back. Like I'm something like that, you know, that happened is because she's the one who does that, you know, and you know, a balancing act, you need to balance things up. I'm a very emotional person. Even when a Milan lost, like I'm like, oh my God, what happened? My life is ended. Never going to support them tomorrow morning, and I'm back to Milan news. Yeah, same cycle, you know. So something which balances me out is her. So no chance. I think I would be a mess on the other. Like on the contrary, I would be a mess if not. You know, when it comes to emotions. Work-wise, so life बढ़ती आ गई. You know, you need to do what you need to do.
Yeah.
Right.
But otherwise, when it comes to emotions and all these things, I think I would have been a mess. And as I said, if you put me in this algorithm right now, when it comes to dating algorithm, as you said, we are pretty much all in. And if I'm putting so much effort एक जगह पे and then बोले कि चलो boss next move on, I think I would be a mess there also. So I am so happy, and I'm sure it's same with you, right?
100%, man. I mean, in fact, you know, it's a choice you make every day, and I think over the last 10 years or so, personally, I've been at my lowest, and my wife has stood by me. So now the best is already started. The best is yet to come. So you know, I'm looking forward to that journey.
Yeah. You know, just to tell you, I don't know if a lot of people know. I think you might know this. He had a football academy. He was running. His passion is. You can know that passion. Ajay's passion is football because he's put in everything.
Yes.
Like I hope I'm okay to say that.
Yeah,
that
go ahead.
he put in everything. His life, his money, everything into it. And COVID hit. He was doing so well. His kids walked out as Mumbai City mascots.
Yeah.
You know, so he reached that level. You know, and amazing.
So we were very close to doing a deal with Goregaon Sports Club for the summer camp. I was in talks with a couple of international clubs to get, you know, come and become the technical partners. Everything was set, and then COVID hit. 115 odd kids in 3 centers.
Wow.
Just when the company had started to make money is when COVID hit.
And you know,
But you can still do something with that data. Just FYI.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's been a
we
bit.
can do a Calcio Charcha data. But you know, just the point is something at something essay phase में.
You
very
need
grateful.
you're very grateful.
Someone
very
who stands by you like a rock. Yeah.
I think that's why, you know, guys, like, I feel like we're lucky that we get to share that part of our story and our journey, because like you guys both very correctly said, and Yogesh will come to you, but very correctly you all said that it's added to the growth factor. You've grown emotionally, you've grown spiritually, you know, and Ajay actually said something very poignant right now, that people keep saying, what is love, but love is not something of the heart. It's a choice you make every day. Love is choice. You choose this person every single day, you know, good day, bad day. And that's really what makes marriages stick today. Because like if you look at us, given the time and the distractions, it's very easy for marriages to fail. Look at, sadly, Morata, right? Like 4 kids. And like it's failed. Why? Because this is distraction, there's no choosing. And this is what like we need to kind of like get to. And like from that perspective, I feel that, you know, today we have to be grateful for the fact that we're in this place. Or we could be very, very lost.
Also, DJ, what is love? Baby, don't hurt me.
Well done. You know, and you know the entire thing when you sum it up is, just he said, ऐसे time पे now we are at that comfortable stage in life when it comes to mental. See this. If you want to move ahead in life, you need mental peace, and mental 100%. Peace is what is at home, right?
100%.
So, अभी as he said, अभी हम लोग जो scroll करते हैं, वो ऐसे
Doom scroll.
मैनेजर खेलते हैं तो वो स्क्रीन में अपने ये सब फुटबॉल रिलेटेड चलता रहता है, नथिंग रिलेटेड एंड यू नो.
मैं वही तो FPL मैं तो she was like why are you so intense ये अभी इसका ये 4 मिलियन है इसको मैं निकालूंगा.
हाँ इतना बजट तो
I'm happy that ये चिंता है.
Yeah,
मतलब
ये सबसे but you know we are all talking about this generation. Let's divert our attention to someone who
the
is
tech guy.
Yeah, the tech guy.
The CTO of Calcio Charcha.
Yeah, जो क्या बोले डेथ मेटल हेवी मेटल. पर ये सच्ची बता इसको देख के लगता होगा कभी डेथ मेटल हेवी मेटल.
I do you he's got an evil laughter.
Full
Good evil laughter.
Kishore and Rafi and
ऐसे रोजेस होंगे ऐसे लग रहा है ये तो
yeah,
फूल खिले हैं गुलशन के तो किधर पहुंच गया यार सिस्टम ऑफ द डाउन में पहुंच गया यार चॉप्स पे आ गया. बट योगेश लाइक हम लोग ओल्ड स्कूल है यार बुढ़े लोग हैं पास वो प्रीवियस वो पता है हमारे पिताजी के जनरेशन वो एक मेरा सेक्रेटरी ऐसा
बैठा
सो हम लोग वो जनरेशन से है.
तू रास्पेटोरी है you know.
या
अरे देना रास्पेटोरी चाहिए हम लोग प्लीज
ले लो
डील इधर हो गई है
डील हो गया.
सो माय पॉइंट इज यू हैव सीन अस लाइक अभी सुना है हम लोग की स्टोरी के बारे में. आई एम श्योर यू हैव सीन अ लॉट ऑफ जेन ज़ी जनरेशन जो प्रॉब्ली आज ब्रेकअप हो गया एक दिन रो के नेक्स्ट डे ऐप पे दूसरे स्काउट करते हैं. सो डू यू थिंक इट इज जो सबके पेशेंस लेवल कम हो गए लाइक एज एन यू सीन इट योर फ्रेंड्स अराउंड आजू बाजू तेरे को लगता है ये इज इट एक्चुअली ट्रू इज हैपनिंग?
या डेफिनेटली लाइक आज के टाइम पे आई थिंक स्ट्रेस लेवल्स बहुत ज़्यादा हो गया एंड पीपल हैव लॉस्ट देयर लाइक पावर ऑफ कंसंट्रेशन और फोकस. Like they are not focused or concentrated for more than like 10 seconds. They need that continuous dopamine hit kick. After 10 seconds, you need that scroll and you.
Yeah, well said.
So I think उसका generation आ गया and it's all because of tech in some ways or other.
तो गलती तेरी है.
तेरी गलती है.
IT
Not my
ये
गलती,
but do you think इसकी वजह से personal relationships, friendship भी, not just dating relationships.
Actually,
yeah, boss, even friendship gets affected. Like I don't know. अगर I'm sure you guys all have school friends. मैं अगर बात भी नहीं करूँगा, you start the same way.
Yesterday I met my building friends. Like I know them since we were like in 4th standard. So yesterday 4 of us met and we chilled here in Andheri. So I mean that's
you go back to the same. You meet and it starts on the same day.
So, yeah.
By the way, to be honest, when we met for Calcio Charcha, I think me and Leach met after a very long time because we stopped playing. But I don't think there's any awkwardness or gap because that never. So, but तेरे को लगता है ये होता है कि out of sight, out of mind बोलते हैं ना वो true हो गया ये generation में? Have you seen it? होता है तेरे साथ?
Yeah, I've definitely seen it. Like मेरे friends के साथ में I've seen these things happen. Luckily, it has not happened with me. And like I'm married to a very beautiful woman.
Whoa! Hey! Green flag, Yogesh.
Yes.
Aura player.
But actually, this is the thing. If you're a subscriber or if you're listening to us for the first time, and if you're in this dating app generation, in your Tinder and दूसरा को Bumble. उसके बायो में लिखो I support a Serie A club. Green flag guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Green flag. Yes. Yeah. So yes. Again, by the way, Yogesh, I think बहुत hot burning question था सबका हमारी एज के बारे में लेकिन तेरा is Yogesh married? Is Yogesh? So आज सबसे बड़ा clarification हो गया है.
He's married to a beautiful woman.
He's married to a beautiful, very happy, doing very well for himself. Moved to Bangalore recently.
Yeah.
So that is what you can see. A drastic difference मतलब ऐसा होता है and you know by the way reason why he's one of us बोल सकते in that bracket guys even including परम बोलता है यार ये आजकल के बच्चे खुद बच्चा है परम is still a kid so but that happens because supporting a Serie A club
Uno di noi
one of us yeah so yeah this is but यार बात कर रहे हैं we are four we have someone amongst us
a Fiorentina fan.
Fiorentina and lived there so authentically. And actually number one green flag on in this forum today. So I think it's time we call him out.
Yeah, and let's not forget he's the guy reason behind this is happening. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome
for Mr. Harsh Bhatia.
Come on, Harsh.
Welcome to our Christmas special. Weighing 187 pounds from Florence.
Guys, first of all, the reason why we are here in this beautiful space is all because of him. And he's not, उसके लिए ही नहीं आया इधर. He's a massive, he stayed in Florence. First of all, बहुत कम लोग ऐसा बोल सकते हैं. And जो भी आजकल के जो current debate चल रहा है, you don't even stay here. Why are you supporting us? He beats that debate, boys. He's here, boys.
And after staying in Florence, he's still decided to get married and have a baby. So like, I mean, like really hats off to him.
yeah.
So see, as you can see, I've taken my hat off because Harsh. So yeah, Harsh, why don't you share your story as a big Syria Fiorentina fan?
And I mean, I stayed there for a couple of months, but unfortunately didn't get into the football craze that those guys had. Having said that, I did enjoy with them a lot.
Oh yes.
Because I saw them celebrating. I was like, celebrate because maybe घुस जाता हूँ.
of course.
So I enjoyed with them.
That culture,
That
that
was,
sporting culture.
and
Yeah.
the best part was, especially when they won and they were celebrating, they were so kind. They knew that this guy is not into football or is not actually.
Yeah,
but they included you in the.
They included and they were very welcoming and they were like,
Very
"Arey, come and let's enjoy."
So guys, this is Italy because मैं इंग्लैंड में रह चुका हूँ. It's the
नहीं,
exact
नहीं,
opposite.
Yeah, they don't care. They
Yeah.
take the metro and they're off. But
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's very true. And you know, as I said, they give you free stuff. Like, oh, come on,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
won.
yeah.
And for them, winning Florent again, no disrespect, it's not a big club which wins
Yeah.
trophies regularly. So for them to win a local derby or win a
Yeah.
match against the big teams,
Yeah.
it's a big event, yeah. And as a city, yeah, I'm sure I've been there.
Romance,
Amazing.
yeah.
Beautiful.
Romance, yeah.
And I was studying film over there.
Oh
And,
my God!
my-
Can't get better, yeah. This
Yeah,
is my boss,
yeah.
yeah.
Nolan क्या है? यश चोपड़ा है.
Yeah. अपना वही यार.
Yeah,
Forget Nolan, yeah, you're right, not Nolan. But yeah, what a as a culture wise, क्या बोलते हैं? Very Italy as a country itself. Yeah, they love their culture. They're very deep rooted, you know. So did you when you
Like, I think what Chinch is trying to say, do you find a similarity between Italian culture and Indian
Yeah.
culture? Like I
Deep-rootedness.
think we're all mama's boys. I think.
Yeah.
I certainly am.
of
I'm
course,
going
of
on
course.
record
For
to
sure.
say
No
that.
denying, no denying.
You know?
Mama, I love you.
Yeah. Love you, mama. And you know, when you draw the parallels between your experience in Italy to when you see family culture here, we are both sets are very deeply rooted in
very-
family.
yeah,
Sense
very
of belonging, sense of community, environment. Like,
I
did you
agree.
experience that?
I
also?
agree. It's also the relation between them with the whole family,
Right.
right? Making sure that there's mutual respect.
Yeah.
Like here, we would say even if you meet someone elder, you'll say yes sir, ma'am, or uncle.
Yeah,
auntie."
yeah,
They have that
Yeah.
very cordial
True.
conversation that those guys have. And again, love is there. They're like brother. They'll treat you as a brother.
Yeah.
And like that sense of celebration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
And you know,
festa.
they as he said, they're very held responsible. Like, I'm the only
Yeah.
member of the family. I need to look up. And they're very community. So when I had gone to the city center is amazing. Like it's a very
Yeah.
beautiful place. When you go there, you feel like this entire area is my family.
Yeah.
Correct.
It's a community feel, you know.
Right.
That is what amazing and what a city, man. And leaning down the pizza, I think it's close
It's very
by.
close there. And
So and I'm guessing food. How was the food? Yeah, like
so when I was there, I was a strict vegetarian.
oh.
Okay. And having said that, my friends did help me to get. I mean, getting good margaritas is the
Of
Yeah.
course, ultimate.
Of course.
ultimate. And
But different taste. Right?
Different-
Italian pizza
Yeah.
is very different.
very different.
Thank you,
And-
Domino's.
And they used to being a vegetarian, I was also looking a lot for French fries. Right now, if you say French fries, they won't respond.
Yeah.
You have to say patete
Oh,
to get.
yes, of course. Patete.
Because I was like, you have it. I was like, no, this is not French fries.
Did not say French fries,
Right,
bro.
yeah, over there, right, that. But yeah, the best part is gelato.
Oh,
And there was a gelato parlor right across the place I used to stay. In fact, that was my view.
Oh, wow.
And I used to
Amazing.
see, and getting those with strawberry, chocolate. Oh my god.
Did you do that Instagram thing where you had the gelato in your hand
Yeah.
and then the roadka shot?
Roadka
You know,
shot,
the
yeah.
little
No,
pen that
since
was-
you're the editor, please put this in, like, just the image.
Yeah, the gelato. Oh my god, this is my mouth is watering. Yeah? I don't know what
Bhook
something
lag
about
rahi
gelato. Yeah, gelato and
Scene होना से मंगा है क्या?
But let's ask her, so the time that you were in Florence, you were single.
I was single.
So did you use dating apps then, or did you
I-
always know because you're Yash Chopra, you will find it?
Yeah, it's eternal love.
You will find it back in India.
I mean, I did use dating apps.
Ah, guys.
Having said that,
Big reveal.
No luck.
No luck.
No luck. And I think as soon as I came back from Florence, I did find someone in India in my college, and even though I didn't get much heat from her for a long time, but I chased down as we were saying that we normally like romantic chase.
This is because of Fiorentina and
Yeah,
Florence.
yeah.
That's
Maybe-
That's it.
maybe-
Green flag, green
Green
flag,
flag,
green
yeah.
flag.
It took me almost 8 years to.
Wow. What do you
Wow,
Almost
boss
7.
first of all. Yo. Persistence, boss.
Persistence.
I swear, first of all, for everyone, how old are you?
28.
That's 28 to get that in this. Oh my, amazing.
Guys, also persistence means not like Shah Rukh in dance.
Yeah, no,
Not like that.
not freaking someone out.
Yeah,
right?
not like that. Like Harsh as Yash Chopra, like that.
Yeah.
You know, writing poetry and all of that.
Shah Rukh is an
that as
Arsenal
well.
fan, so take what you may from that comment.
But no, okay, 8 years. This is absolutely beautiful, you know. So, what do you think helped you like to eventually get her? Like, you know, something. Your persistence, of course, I'm sure is the key. But कुछ ऐसा poem लिखा था या act of love.
नहीं,
ऐसा
I
कुछ
think
तो-
consistency, yeah.
Consistency, yeah, exactly. It was consistency.
Wow man, 8 years यार ये तो मतलब ऐसा लग रहा है कि हम लोग जो फुटबॉल फैंस की जर्नी रही है
100%.
ऐसा ही फील आ रहा है यार 8 years है कि you've been married for now how many years now?
1 year.
So 27, so you were 19 or something like that. Oh boss, this is actually very poetic.
It's a very green flag story, huh? Guys,
Yeah,
like,
very,
it
very.
really
Yeah,
is.
guys, but still, guys, he's married, has a beautiful daughter now. So again, ये जो भी podcast में unfortunately सब लोग taken है.
All taken.
Yeah, you know what, Chintan? I'm getting a vision. He's wearing a Bianconero jacket, right? Baggio, Vlahovic, Chiesa. He may move from Fiorentina to Juve.
And he's
Already-
of course,
already
he's
has.
Already there.
Already
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Already
there's already a connection here also, man. As a just in
Already.
person, there's a
Yeah,
connection.
I mean, like, so I'm sure you guys know Harsh and I have worked together. It's been a fabulous experience. Great visionary, fantastic at the craft. His execution is top draw. So I'm very glad. I mean, we saw it also right
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the
with
ADM
the
episode.
Del Monte
so,
episode,
like,
yeah.
fabulous. And please keep up the good work.
For sure.
And
it,
I'm
it
sure
only
like,
happens because of the team. we have.
his, of course, thank
great
you
team,
everyone. And his beautiful daughter Azira now is going to continue to power him forward and bring in more work.
I
and-
still can't get over it, man. He's 28, yeah. It's
Yeah.
Seriously.
unbelievable, yeah.
Seriously,
Like 15 years, like a decade between us, man. At 20, I don't think I was this focused, at least not this focused when it comes to certain things, yeah.
I was like, yeah, as long as it's a girl, it's okay. That's where I was. So,
I was still doing a live score. क्या करके अब score क्या हुआ?
so
Yeah,
it's,
but amazing, but yeah, now that इतना music का बात कर दिया यार, like I think let's talk about actresses, yeah. Like everyone, everyone, I'm talking about this one actress, like जिसको बोलते हैं तुमको सब लोग married है, so एक hall pass मिलेगा. Let's assume our wives are going to give us a hall pass. तुमको एक actress का celebrity का नाम लेना है, Indian, whatever it is. Dish, let's go with you, man.
guys, there's no hall pass for me. Like, my wife is like
Brownie
right up
points,
there.
brownie
Like,
points. Here's that brownie points, please.
Aura player, baby. So no, so she's right up there. Not a question of hall pass, but like as a fan, cinema for me, I think just in terms of pure majesty on screen from a Western perspective, I think we would all largely agree the name has popped up before on a Calcio Charcha episode. Monica Bellucci, like Aura.
I was just
And I think from an Indian perspective, we are like beauty, and I think not underrated, but I think she's right up there from a ethereal perspective compared with the greats like Madhubala and Nargis, etc. I think Raveena Tandon was an Aura player. You know,
Great.
for me, like Aura.
Yeah, of course.
Like proper
Yeah, yeah.
90s Italian old school Aura. I
Great
think
dancer,
Raveena-
man.
Raveena
Great
Tandon.
dancer to match up with Govinda back then was something.
Mora, yeah, her work in Mora.
Tip
is
tip
just
बरसा
tip,
पानी.
tip.
The OG.
OG. In many ways, again, I think her career was short.
Yeah.
So, but that
Short
doesn't
but
take
sweet.
away.
Yeah,
But,
amazing,
yeah,
amazing.
sweet, amazing.
Harsh.
On the spot.
As he said, wife is up there. But
Of course.
by
By the way, guys,
clarify कर
सबके
दो।
लिए wife is up there.
Yeah, up
boys
there,
is
up
up.
there.
हम लोग second से चालू कर रहे हैं.
Disclaimer alert.
Yeah, second से चालू कर रहे हैं.
but having said that,
Both, Indian and abroad.
there's just one. It's Kareena Kapoor.
Oh, forever.
No,
Green
so,
flag,
so
boss.
I think Kareena is, she's one of those very obvious picks. 100% I agree with that. Let's go with like Raveena, you perhaps would not know, right? So let's go there. Kareena is like one of those all-time greats
All-time
in the
greats.
GOAT category. Like you can't debate it.
You can't debate
There's an obvious choice. Let's go like where, if you had to just dig a little deeper.
Oh, just absolutely beautiful, stunning. Not just a superstar actress, but something
Yeah.
like that.
Just someone who lit up the screen or,
Boss, he's pretty much a one-woman man. So
Yeah,
Kareena, that's
actually,
it. Yeah, for-
Kareena is.
Yeah.
He has a look on his face.
Preeti Zinta.
Oh,
See, that's what I'm saying, right? You dig a little deeper.
Yeah.
Kareena would be obvious for all of us, yeah. Like she was perhaps
Pretty
like
much.
Ranveer very correctly said, right? That journey from boy to man.
Yeah.
Kareena Kapoor is someone perhaps
Of course.
who'd be one of the leading lights. Hard to,
for
know.
sure.
So-
Tera bata. Before.
मेरे लिए for when it comes to Indian, I think as a kid fell madly in love with Sonali Bendre. Oh my God! Like and
Sonali Tonali.
yeah, no wonder I love
Sandro
Sandro. So to that, I had cuttings of her. I used to save.
Shah Rukh from Dar only.
Yeah. Well, just to tell you on that level. So there was a very famous in 2002 or 3, my first year in college. There was a very famous show called Aapki Sonia with Farooq Sheikh.
Right. I remember.
Yeah,
that.
so it was a Pehle Aapki Shabana, which Shabana Azmi was the first where they were lovers. It's about the show, such a beautiful stage show where it's just about 2 tables. They're writing letters to each other.
Oh, lovely.
So it's just narrating the letters. Oh my God. It's,
Beautiful. That is so
it's
romantic.
cinema. It's I'm telling you, it's art. It's craft. So it is Farooq Sheikh reading and the wife, Shabana. The second part of what was Aapki Sonia was the daughter, the father and the daughter, which was Sonali Bendre. It was just letters. I cried in
What year was this?
2003. Yeah, and big Farooq Sheikh fan, beautiful actor.
what an actor,
Gina
boss.
इसी का नाम है.
Oh my God, amazing.
What a show!
That-
he has so much character on his face.
Exactly,
right?
and
You
trust me,
remember
Dej,
that?
if you like him as an actor, if you were there, he had written. There was one letter where he's writing to his daughter where he left and went away because his wife passed away, but he still loves her. There was a letter where it was funny, but I think the entire auditorium was crying. I had tears.
I think they took inspiration from this for Ye Jawani Hai Diwani.
Yes,
Because he dies.
He dies and he leaves that
yeah.
letter, right?
Yes,
like,
yes,
I think
yes,
that
yes,
is
yes.
probably what inspired.
So I saw that show. It was at St. Andrews at Bandra. I went early to thought I'll get a glimpse of her, but didn't. The show got over. I waited for 2.5 hours outside just to at least meet her. The minute she walked out, I backed out. I was like, boss, I can't. I just saw my friends told me, go say hi to her at least. So they went and said, okay, listen, my friend's a big fan. And she called me over. Like, hey,
you
listen,
met her. Wow.
I shook hands and I was like, boss, this is it, This is the
Amazing.
one. So for me, it's always been Sonali Bendre. There's no second actress ever. But yeah, when it comes to international, Monica Bellucci was amazing. And then someone I fell in love with was Mila Kunis.
Okay.
I used to watch
Like
that.
Girl Next Door vibe, I get
That's
what you're
70
saying.
show.
Yeah, that 70s show. I love
Crazy,
that 70s show.
crazy.
So that's why again, Girl Next Door. So something
And
like
her
that.
and Ashton Kutcher just had that vibe.
Was, so yeah, they had to be
They had the
together.
chemistry.
They
in
had
the
that
show.
chemistry.
They dated back then, so these are the two. It's been steady since then. As I said, once we choose someone, that's it. And just to tell you, I had written a very when she was detected with cancer. Unfortunately, Sonali Bendre. I had written a huge message to her, and I was upset. My wife said, "You need your space." I was like, "Yeah, well, this is something very gut wrenching for me, And she came back. I wrote a message to her, and she replied, "Thank you so much for your love and all
That's
that."
amazing.
So it was absolutely proper fanboy moment for me and all. So-
Hopefully we can get her one day.
I'm good, boss. I'll be some other room. I won't be able to face her ever.
जो हाल दिल का इधर हो रहा है.
Yes, exactly for me, man. Ajay?
Like my answer is pretty obvious if you go through my Twitter feed, and my wife will give like
Parinti Chopra.
hall pass, but she like just get over, एक बार कर खत्म कर दो. What is his
Because
obsession?
you see, first I thought it was a joke. His Twitter is all about Parinti Chopra.
I see the memes and always Roma.
Yeah. So Parinit, because I've saved a bunch of memes because I feel that we had a similar journey. Studied in the UK 2008-9, recession tha, came back. She went her way, I went my way. That's a different story. But yeah, I don't know. I can't explain it. But
There's no answer.
Yeah,
we don't answer answers. It's just it is who it is.
She was working for in the Man United shop, club shop. Okay, and in some show, I think Anupam Kher asked that you were working with Man United. She was like, no, I didn't care about the football club. I just wanted my money, £10 per hour, and that's it. I didn't care whether the football club did well or not. I was like, yeah, that's a chance. So she could be a Romanista. Just imagine having worked at a United club shop and not liking United. So yeah, and in terms of international, for me, it's more of the character of Courtney Cox. in Friends as Monica.
Man, that character.
That cat was crazy.
Really.
Yeah,
Proper girlfriend material, right?
Proper. And I think, you know,
OCD level.
OCD,
Thoda-
cute.
Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why actually I fell in love with my wife as well, because she's got a little bit of those Monica
Quirks,
traits.
same quirks.
Same quirks. So has to be that, man. I mean, the Chandler Monica thing was something that, you know, we grew up on, man.
100%.
Probably the best TV show couple. I think
Yeah.
apparently, you know, there was just supposed to be a hookup.
They didn't want to.
They didn't want to be, but they got so much adulation from the fans.
And the chemistry also was so natural.
So they made it into a couple.
They
So
make a
amazing.
great couple off screen, actually.
Yeah.
Especially जब वो Richard वापस आता है ना, तो वे Chandler
Oh, he
react.
goes to his house.
You
He
big
goes-
tree.
He goes to his house and all. That was amazing.
Amazing,
Yeah. Because see, that is what they tap, that insecurity which we all
Which
go
we all
through normal
have,
life.
we
So
all have,
that is why it's such a great show also.
And Richard had this mustache. And
Like that show was everything, you know, like the way it kind of, not stereotype, but understood the female psyche, the way it understood the male psyche.
Yeah,
You know, Ross with Rachel,
Yeah.
the way he was, you know, when that mask came to work.
Is probably one of my top 3 favorite TV characters of all time. Like, you know, his craziness, his crazy guy falling in love, getting divorced, but falling in love again. You know, that thing would...
Ross the divorce.
Yeah, Ross the divorce. It was amazing. Yeah,
Legendary. But let's get to Yogesh. Yogesh, your favorite Hollywood actress, favorite Bollywood actress.
Disclaimer, wife is number 1. Bol de bhai.
बोल दे.
My wife is number 1. But Bollywood actress, I'm not into movies and stuff too much, but pretty obvious answer, Aishwarya Rai.
Oh.
So
Aishwarya Rai Bachchan.
Bachchan.
yeah.
A beauty, proper beauty. Like, you know.
Proper timeless.
And Hollywood, I don't watch a lot of movies. Yeah.
Okay.
Not bad. Yeah. Now that we've gone to Friends, just one word, probably your best TV show? I'm just asking. What's your favorite TV show?
Too many actually. Like look at what we've grown up with. Yeah, our staple has
No,
been like
okay.
Seinfeld,
Let's
Friends.
take like one serious, one comedy with Indian and abroad. Like whatever comes at top of your head. Yeah.
Yeah, Friends is so obvious. Yeah, like it's too obvious an answer not to pick it.
I won't pick Friends actually.
Even I'm not picking Friends.
I
Spoiler
think
alert.
like Modern Family for me.
Good choice.
Friends,
choice.
Seinfeld, like there are
Yeah,
just too many.
Yeah,
like,
that's-
like Modern Family for me, every character.
Oh, beautiful
Just
show.
like the way.
Well-rounded show.
The way it's written, the sense of emotion towards the end, I legit cried.
Yep.
Like This Is Us, the writing again.
Yeah.
Man,
At
This
my
Is Us.
heart,
This
like
Is
I'm a
Us.
writer again. So like this is the way it was written. I mean,
Family
the amount
unit.
I have bawled in that first season. Just, you know, it opened a very different side of me in the way I connected to family. So, like that, there's just too many. Yeah. Like, perhaps a more telling question maybe used to say favorite movie. I could
Yeah, go. Let's
So
go with movie and shows both. Whatever you want to
so
answer.
I don't know, from the West, maybe Top Gun Part 1. And to me is my favorite Hollywood, one of my favorites. Hindi is very defined. Like DDLJ for me was just
For sure,
defining
It's
for
a
his
very
generation.
DJ answer.
Yeah.
right?
LJ.
May as well call it DJ.
DJ. Yeah. DJ.
But
Very DJ
but
answer.
like it just, I have that inner Raj, and I think that just like, you know,
Yeah, of course.
perhaps why so defining.
He can move countries for hills. He can move countries for hills. Yeah.
100%.
You can expect him to move from that from your
एकदम,
खेतों में
एकदम, एकदम.
waiting for hills and running over there.
बियर की फैक्ट्री लगा,
Guys,
वाइन की फैक्ट्री लगा,
just so you know,
पहन लो.
there was a counter proposal. After that proposal, I also proposed.
Oh.
Yeah, I know that. But listen, I want to keep it.
No, don't want to get into that. But romance, like you
Yeah,
said,
romance,
very
yeah.
DDLJ and you know.
But I'm team hills, so I like that proposal more.
Yeah, no, 100%. No competition, no comparison. But yeah, so DDLJ and Top Gun for me.
इसका तो यश जोहर है तो सिलसिला देखा तो ये
यश चोपड़ा, जोहर क्या बोल रहे हो?
सॉरी यश चोपड़ा सॉरी
Yeah, Johar also good
Also
film.
good
But
film, also
Yash
good
Chopra.
Yeah.
तो सिलसिला
वही
होगा।
लेन में भी है.
या बिल्कुल इधर ही है YRF.
Yeah, very close. But having said that, my favorite Hindi film, cinematically or art-wise, I don't feel it's a great film, but it's close to me as a person because I really love the character, and that's Wake Up Sid.
Oh yeah.
Listen,
Unpredictable.
outstanding
Good one.
movie.
Good
I
one.
love
that film.
I think
Very
I lived that.
underrated,
By the way, that
very
was going to be my answer because I think
Very
I was that
underrated.
kid.
Very underrated.
And especially if you see, it was the first feature film from that director as well.
Yeah, Ayan Mukherjee.
So
Yeah.
Ayan
Mukherjee.
Mukherjee.
First feature film and such
Hit it out of
good
the park.
writing,
By the
especially
way,
with the character.
amazing part was it was actually shot in HR.
Yeah.
It's actually HR.
हाँ,
My
right,
sister
right,
was
right,
studying
right.
there.
Yeah, it
It's
is
actually
HR. Yeah.
Otherwise, you see all these kuch hota
Sets,
types,
yeah.
massive school.
Massive.
This is actually HR. So it was.
And you guys know this story? It's a funny story. Ayan was drunk one night and he messaged Kejo.
Oh,
He was assisting. He said, one day I'm going to make a film for you. It
damn.
was a drunk message, and then that's when the conversation
Wow.
started. He had started writing Wake Up Sid. And
Lovely.
so,
Wow, so good. By the way,
great,
good choice.
great pick.
Artistic है तो ऐसा choice है.
But tell me, English, Hollywood.
I don't know, the first film that comes to my mind is Prestige.
Oh, masterpiece.
नोलन बोल दिया ना तुमने.
भाई
पहले बोल दिया.
Very unpredictable. Huh?
Yeah.
ये तो यार ये तो पहले यश चोपड़ा था अभी नोलन बन गया सच्ची यार क्रिस्टोफर नोलन बन
उसका भी
गया.
स्टूडियो इधर है.
So, AJ.
Hollywood. I don't know if you guys have watched this Cloud Atlas.
I love Cloud Atlas.
It is everything because
It's a
it's
three
got-
and a half hour movie
Three
or
and a
something.
half. There are 8 births. Cycles. In Hindi Punarjanam, rebirth.
Hugh Jackman.
नहीं.
This guy.
अरे यार क्या है अपना what's his name?
Benedict Cumberbatch.
No.
It's no 2006-7 movie.
How did Tom Hanks?
Tom Hanks, yes.
Tom Hanks, Halle Berry are the lead, but there are multiple characters.
Oh, it's amazing.
So it's all about the karma that you've done, the rebirth. You
Very
die again. Yeah, it's a very
Very heavy movie.
I'm surprised
Heavy
actually, AJ. I could see he's a Tom Hanks fan, as I'm sure all of us are.
Yeah.
I think you would have picked The Terminal for some reason.
No. So I like
What a
Tom
film
Hanks
though.
movies, but this movie, Cloud Atlas,
Yeah.
just goes above and beyond. A movie that I always like to go back to is Interstellar. Maybe
Yeah,
not Nolan's
interesting.
best work, but it's
But
Visually,
who's
it's
to-
amazing.
Who's to
Visually.
say? It's not his best commercial work per se, but great
Probably.
movie.
Great
movie.
great.
and
No
in,
doubt.
and in Hindi, I think the movie that kind of finally woke up the Sid in me was Dil Chahta Hai. Because it
Again,
defined.
defining, guys. Defining.
Man, I mean, I could relate to a movie.
Iconic.
For the first time, I relate to a movie like this is damn cool. And of course, I have to side the goat Parinidhi Chopra, Hasi to Fasi. I have to go and put that
Underrated.
very underrated
Very
movie. She
Funny
was
movie.
wide bombed.
Great character.
Yeah, wide bombed is because this character, the female lead, was the intellectual one, and the male lead was the emotional one.
Yeah.
So it didn't work with that, but.
The
still.
Drama Queen song was from that movie, right?
Yeah, it was. It was another last movie I would recommend. I just watched it recently. Is Chiller Party. I would highly
very good
recommend
film.
watching it. Made by 2 of the finest minds. That guy Bale and क्या उसका नाम? The guy who made Queen. Which Bale?
Akash Behel and
Vikas Bahl.
Vikas Bell. And the Tiwari guy. What's his name? First name again?
Nitish.
Nitish
Tiwari. So they are the writers of Chiller Party. And I think we've all grown up together playing cricket in our building,
society.
and we've always rebelled against someone or the other. The story on that. Like I just watched it recently and classic movie, man. In Hindi.
Yogesh?
So I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan.
Oh man, I love the book also.
Yeah.
So I listen to a lot of Lord of the Rings music as well, like theme music.
Amazing.
While
Master.
अलग ही बात।
अलग ही निकला ये आदमी यार, as a personality wise.
Personality is a-
Amazing. For the Lord of the Rings was probably one of the best made fictional movies.
Yeah.
For someone who doesn't watch Hollywood, yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that's deep. And what about Hindi?
Hindi, I would say I really like Dangal movie.
Oh. Great.
So I
Amir
watched it.
Khan.
Intense.
Yeah.
Intense.
Very
But
intense.
Yogesh opened an interesting dimension, right? with Lord of the Rings. Who's your favorite superhero?
Superhero Batman.
Since?
I'm a favorite superhero. I like Thor as a demigod. Like he's God, and I like his person as a superhero. I read a lot of comic books. I really like him. But when it comes to if you actual terms may call a superhero, what a superhero is, Superman. Nothing beats Superman for me. Like he's the word superhero is synonymous to Superman for me, man. So it's something like that. It is, and I read a lot of comic books. So when you see there is some flaw, something or the other in every superhero, when it comes to Superman, he's like this, except the kryptonite part. But otherwise, he's something what everyone aspires to be. So they made it in such a way that everyone wants to be this perfect as Superman.
Yeah.
There's a lot of story behind how Superman was made as a superhero. So it is something which we all aspire to be, like Man of Steel. You want to be like completely like this. You want to be hidden in the world but be a superhero outside. So it was something which defines me as a Superman, is something which connects to me, man.
Harsh?
I feel being smart is a very
big superhero
big
power.
and that's why it's Iron Man for me.
Yeah, Iron Man, Batman is biggest debate. That's the biggest debate.
I think also Iron Man very unapologetically powerful and intelligent.
Yeah,
and
that's
he just,
the-
Batman is dark.
Yeah,
Back-
Batman. No, but I love the at least in the movies, the ending that he gets, he does get that humility eventually, the bigger picture and sacrifice.
Because otherwise he's always been the selfish one.
Selfish, yeah.
But yeah, Deej, Superman. You're a Superman guy.
predictable, hardcore. Actually, it's funny you said Batman because I think a lot of Batman fans all know we have that inner darkness. All
That
of us
is what.
human beings.
Everyone can be a superhero.
And everyone can, everyone is, but like I think what makes Superman a different dimension is he creates hope.
Yeah.
And he makes you aspire and inspire people to work towards hope. So we were just talking actually before the thing. The Snyder version was a darker, where he's a
loved it.
god among men.
Yeah.
But the new version, the James Gunn version, is going to be that he is a reason for hope.
Yeah.
And he's going back to the roots of the Christopher Reeve Superman.
Yeah.
Which is what I'm really looking forward to. So
But
I
not
think-
happy, man. Not happy. You can't replace Henry Cavill.
You can't, man. I mean, Henry Cavill is Superman. Like
He is
in
super.
this. I mean, for me, Christopher Reeve. But,
of course.
But this gen, I think
He's pretty much coined it. You can Henry
Yeah.
Cavill now with his physique and
Yeah,
with
yeah.
his
Yeah.
thing. There were so many changes, but I think he's
also is the new Wolverine now. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel bad because he left Superman for the show, and now he left the show also, so he's in the middle.
No,
of
so he got
nowhere.
fired from Superman by James Gunn, who is taken over.
So because he was wanted to concentrate on the TV show, right?
Yeah,
so he but then they killed him over there also, and his character went off.
Unfortunate.
So, but yeah, it's just hard to see Superman. When I saw the trailer, I was like, "ये हज़ब नहीं हुआ."
Physically he doesn't embody it,
Yeah.
but I think the story is
But we never
because
know, we might grow into it.
James Gunn is coming from a perspective of screenplay and writing is most important, which is why I feel like the story has gone back to the origins of the comics.
Listen, James Gunn, he's Guardians of the Galaxy maker, right?
Correct.
And
The entire trilogy.
The entire trilogy, and that is something I found Marvel movies are becoming too comical.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy had that proper storyline with the Rocket Raccoon story.
Yeah.
It was dark. His part of it, and it was amazing. So he kept that balance between being a little funny.
Yes.
Because Star-Lord is supposed to be funny,
Yes.
So he kept that balance.
Yeah.
That's why I'm very excited because he'll keep that balance. Because otherwise, I saw Thor. I'm such a big Thor fan, and I was not really enjoying Thor movies.
No,
yeah,
It
it wasn't a great movie. The last one.
100%.
I did like Ragnarok though.
And not at all. People loved it. I was like, what are you doing?
Love and Thunder was not that
Yeah,
good.
boys, you're making fun of he's a god. He's supposed to be angry all the time. He's like Hulk, he's angry. And he's buddy fighting in the ring with Hulk. Oh, we are friends. I know him from work. I know you can have
I think
multiple
that's
lines.
too much of commercialization
Exactly.
of superheroes,
Too much, too
and
much,
I
too
think,
much.
I think that somewhere low-key that trend started Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like every year you had like a Spider-Man movie
Yeah, but listen,
and
now-
a reboot and that same origin
Listen,
story.
but now I saw this amazing reel. That's my opinion. I don't think I can see anyone other than Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man.
I agree. Agreed.
He's OG, man.
He's OG.
If you ask me Spider-Man, it has to be Tobey
be
Maguire.
Agreed.
He's probably when we were kids, I think we were kids back then, but that movies were so unfiltered.
Yeah.
It was pure. ये Spider-Man बना है, ये villain है, fight किया, but he had that tragic love story. वो सब थोड़ा दिखाया था. अभी तो बहुत gadgety बन गया. I think
It's become
बहुत
too
ज़्यादा-
tech.
बहुत
too
ज़्यादा-
tech.
बहुत ज़्यादा।
It's also the nostalgia we associate with it because I remember my dad taking me to the theater to watch that film.
Right.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah. Spot
बॉस वो मेरे को पता है वो वो Venom बनता है Venom was a big superhero like boss
Yeah.
Venom आया है it was so aesthetically shot the entire movie
Correct.
and उसका friend का भी पूरा complete circle right he hated him
And you
because he
don't,
killed his
even when
father
you see that today, you don't feel
I just saw
it was tech challenged. It's very modern.
Modern.
That scene, right, when he flips it up.
Yeah.
He took what,
But that's
100
actually
odd
shot
takes.
it.
Yeah. He took 1,000,000 takes to get
Million
it
takes to
right.
get it.
on the train it was amazing
there's no
that
VFX on that,
dedication
man.
that
Super.
dedication
Super.
but that is why I enjoy this but अभी Avengers के मैं पक गया Marvel से मैं पक गया
See, the end game was
Endgame was the end game.
the end. Pretty much the end.
They found an algorithm which they felt, this works. So they started putting that same thing in every film.
But now, boss-
now we are used to seeing that.
Yeah,
So
but
now
some
we-
Guardians
I
will-
also think that the internet has not helped it.
Yeah, of course,
Because you're seeing it visually, right? So visually also it's here. It's in your cortex. You've picked it up.
Correct.
Guys,
I grew up on this. I'm sure all of you did. Cartoon Network TNT आता था.
Yeah, TNT.
And उसमें वो Batman, Alan West का Batman.
Alan-
Pow!
Too
Pow!
good, man. Too good. Like what a time.
Batman
What a time to be alive. Super.
Yeah. And वो by the way मेरे को याद है तभी Cartoon Network
Tom and Jerry
9 o'clock बंद हो जाता था.
Yeah, yeah.
TNT
And then
चला
TNT
था.
चला था, the
So
movies.
then when they made पूरा cartoon, boss maybe
Listen,
heaven.
Captain Planet, the OG superhero.
He's the hero. Boss, I used to
Super.
love Johnny
Swat
Quest.
Johnny Quest. Oh.
Johnny Quest was one serious
AI.
cartoon where they mystery solve कर रहा है.
Listen, AI, you know, they got into artificial intelligence then.
What about Giant Robot? Have anyone watched it?
I have
I have not watched it much.
Look it up, Giant Robot.
I also watched Ninja Robots, which was an anime into
No, you guys watch it.
वो मेरे को बाद में when it comes to
Doordarshan Sunday evening.
Centurions.
Centurions, yeah.
Power
But you know
Extreme.
what that time वो TV show पे जो English TV show Small Wonder देखते थे ना.
Oh yeah,
Super
Oh
man.
man, come on,
What a
she's a
good
maid
time.
and you have to remove that
4
thing.
p.m.
She's a small-
every day.
Oh my, and
She's
what
a
a
small-
show, like, you know,
Beautiful
to get to that and, you know, that is how we got into English TV shows, you know, I feel. And
Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
oh, Fresh Prince.
Full House.
I used to love
Full
Fresh
House,
Prince.
man. Full
Good
House.
times.
Fresh Prince was, let's be very honest, we got aware of the culture.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you know,
the West Coast, the
yeah,
US culture.
yeah,
you
the
know?
culture, you know, colored people, you know,
Yeah,
ऐसा,
100%.
their family, what they go through. अपने को पता नहीं था what they
पता
go
नहीं
through, you know, like of course
100%.
back then we didn't have that much exposure.
What about like Californication, Entourage, the
वो तो-
guys
Yeah,
shows?
that's-
Californication with that Porsche,
Yeah.
broken headlight.
Too good, huh?
Signified what it meant, you know. And another TV show which I like from a guy's perspective, which I related to a lot, not from a doctor's, was Scrubs.
Oh.
Was Scrubs because he was a doctor,
yeah.
but their friendship,
Yeah,
what they've
JD
shown,
and Turk.
Turk, you know. And every time they hugged, so I just found out he was a director, but he's a very famous director also.
Yeah, Zach Braff.
Zach Braff is a very famous director, and they made every time they hugged, they said something.
Yeah.
Okay, so every time they must have had some 180, 200 hugs. They had to say a new thing every time. Okay, so like he said, "Oh, you smell like chocolate syrup.
Yeah.
You smell like heaven." Then one said, "You smell like peace." You know, there's just everything different, and I was like, "Boss, that is something which we don't realize that."
Yeah.
And then another thing, that 70s show, entire episodes, you know, their songs. Every episode is a song name.
Yeah. Correct.
Every episode
All
is a
the rock
70s
and roll
song.
songs, yeah.
All the rock and roll songs. Every episode is a song
Wow.
name. That is
Based in Alabama, right?
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
So it is like, imagine all these small things, you will not realize it now, and it's a very iconic 70s show. That song is very iconic, hanging out down the streets, the same old thing we did last week. So all the episodes are, and I just found out sometime back, I was like, boss, there are all 70s,
70s ke
ka
gaane,
legendary
yeah.
songs.
Rock and roll
Superb.
songs. In fact, I tell my office wale sales people that watch The Office. You will learn something from
Too
there.
good, man.
But
Too
you know,
good.
my unpopular opinion is British Office was
No. See, it was
Ricky
an OG
Gervais.
one. It was an OG one.
Oh, Ricky as a
Ricky-
host also, man.
He's amazing.
He's
He's amazing.
amazing. Yeah, like he's
He's
so
a little,
dead.
I feel अच्छा वो उसका ज्यादा नहीं है because he's little over the top, people will get offended.
Yeah, they'll get
वो offend करेगा.
करेगा.
I think it's,
And he doesn't need much time to do it. He warms up very quickly.
Yeah.
it is so funny how he does it, dude. I think he's my favorite stand-up comedian. I like dark comedy.
For sure.
Have you seen The Afterlife with him?
Oh, I love
yeah,
Afterlife.
Mind blowing.
What a-
Dude, that last scene got me. I thought he'll eventually get with that girl, but then he just walked off and aging, and I was like, there's no one walking. I was like, ऐसा कौन लिखता है यार?
मैं वो सीन में हंस दिया डैड आई लव यू
Yes, that is so us, man. That is like so us, you know, like
Yeah,
there are
true.
times because I know my friends and all, few of us, like of course, abhi I hug my dad, and all, but times the happy birthday was like,
Yeah,
boss,
yeah,
shake hands, well done, you know, ऐसा like शाबाशी दे रहा है, you know, ऐसा था.
True, very
And
true.
afterlife में जो the ऐसा part where he's sitting and talking to that lady about death and you know that he can't
Ben.
come around and like someone else.
Yeah.
Boss, me like ऐसा कौन लिखता है? The guy who's so humorous.
Yeah.
To write something so dark, man. I was like,
Yeah.
boss, what a guy. I just wish we get more from him. उसका आता है. But you know when it comes to that, then I like something so stupid as अंदाज़ अपना अपना.
Guys, again,
Listen,
that's
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 cult.
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 That's
legacy,
cult.
bro. It's legacy. 100%.
That bus scene is
So rare. Yeah.
No, but it's legacy.
किधर से लिया? न्यूयॉर्क से. मुझे लगा अमेरिका से
अमेरिका
लिया
से.
है. Boss, who writes that? You know. And by the way, can I tell you there was another scene in that which is not scripted. So they wanted a guest, Govinda. You know, I started.
yeah.
So film studio में हुआ था. So they wanted someone as a guest appearance. So they caught Govinda. कि आ जाओ इधर.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So कि script क्या है? तो कि देंगे. So they had not got a script and rolling हो गया. So
आइला गोविंदा
So Amir Khan says, "Aila Govinda." He said, "Techa Maila, तू कौन?" That is unscripted. उसको दे दिया. This spontaneous of him, but there are so many quirks and lines. There are these dark comedies like Afterlife, and then there are these stupid things. अभी वो मैंने recently सुना था. I keep forgetting that गोलमाल का मुकेश तिवारी क्या नाम है उसका वसूली भाई.
वसूली भाई.
Now उसका जो डायलॉग भाई जल्दी बोल कल सुबह पनवेल जाना है. He actually had to go to पनवेल.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so he said that I actually told the director Rohit Shetty कि मेरे को कल पनवेल जाना है. I have a shoot tomorrow.
Wait. DJ. उसका actually पनवेल जाना है. Yes, जल्दी बोल.
So he said that and he said use this. So and when Shreyas Talpade was so like, then there are these things which just totally get you off the hook, and you know I think it's not remembered, but you know I feel I'm that kind of a guy.
No, fully agree. But also, guys, he mentioned Andaz Apna. I think legacy movie.
Of course,
right?
hands down.
But there are so many that actually came that were actually sleeper legacy films that just didn't catch on. You know, the Welcome series.
Yeah,
and everything before, like Hera Pheri, obviously again.
Hera Pheri is a legendary
legacy. But in that time frame also, there were so many that we missed.
Like दीवाने हुए पागल.
दीवाने हुए,
Yeah,
what a-
like
इसमें
mad.
there was a dialogue.
Mad.
और इसे मुझे आगे बैठे थे मुझे जल्दी पहुंचना
जल्दी
Those-
पहुंचना.
Like mad.
Sunil Shetty.
Yeah, and that guy is लंगड़ा के भाई गलत हाथ में पकड़ा है. So Akshay Kumar that time had come up with a lot of movies which you know as you said it didn't catch on because I think Indian
So much, right? Like meme culture wasn't there, the internet wasn't there. So many things could have contributed.
You know,
Maybe
so-
the theaters started slow and then they didn't give it that chance, like Sholay.
Yeah.
Sholay got a chance much later.
Same with Andaz Apna. I think it was
declared a commercial flop.
Commercial flop था उसके बाद पिकअप लिया था. But you know, you're as a creative perspective, from a director's perspective, I'd like to say, मतलब would you a movie like Andaz Apna ऐसे कोई भी movies है comment? Do you think now it's a risk to make such funny movies? Like it might bomb very badly. Like Golmaal की series चल गई. But उसके बाद you see there are so many big budgeted, big actor films. Banner बड़े bomb हो रहे. So would you play it safe making rom-coms? But do you think ऐसे comedy genre is like dead now थोड़ा यार?
I don't feel comedy is dead.
Comedy is not. but-
Comedy. The thing is, especially after COVID, it's become so volatile. People don't know what's working and what's not working.
Yeah.
I mean, films like Lapata Ladies does such amazing work in theaters, on Netflix, which was such a small budget film.
Yeah.
And then big films come out, and like even Singham Returns was a big film.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say it did as much as people would have expected it to, you know.
So are you trying to say, I mean, which is general question, Reach, with this, Netflix and Amazon
OTT,
Prime, OTT platforms जो आ गए, now do you think now audience know, क्योंकि I like these artsy films, जो पहले probably theaters नहीं मिलता था. You know, no one to buy, distributors कोई buy नहीं कर रहे थे. Like Lapata Ladies, okay, I know it's a Kiran Rao film. But एक टाइम था मुझे लगा लापता लेडीज माइनस OTT रिलीज होता आई थिंक इट वुडंट हैव वर्कड डू यू थिंक दैट द शिफ्ट हैज कम
Absolutely right. So I think COVID changed a lot of things where we've actually moved essentially from star culture to story-driven culture, which is a very Western concept. So if you see the kind of content that's being consumed now, there's also a shift in pattern of consumption. Now there's two things that big movie makers have to fight. One is your multiverse in terms of multiplexes. You have to fill those many more screens. So when you go to sell a movie, you become, you're working backwards from there. And now, because of COVID, people know that you're better off consuming it on OTT. It's just easier. You can see it on your phone. You can see it on your TV.
Couch.
I mean, there's nothing better than that.
Sleeping and watching it is.
And you don't have to pay that kind of money, right?
Like most important.
So the minute that happens, you started getting used to consuming on your screen, literally and physically, you are no longer larger than life. So then you are glued into the story, which means star culture has shifted, story culture has shifted. So if you look at the kind of stories, like you said, Lapata Ladies, very telling story. Like it's something you want to watch. And also, I think audience intelligence has also shifted, right? There's that concept of leaving your brains at home. Yeah, you're like, if I can sit on my phone and laugh, it's good enough.
Might as well, yeah.
You know, and also like we're getting into a space where everything's being curated now. Our music is curated, our opinions are curated. So when like Netflix puts something in the spotlight, I'm very likely to watch that rather than look at my movie apps and see why should I go to the cinema. Take the car out, look for parking, pay 100 rupees, pay 10,000 rupees for popcorn and a bottle of water. It's just easier sitting at home.
But
It's sad actually.
It's sad. It's sad. But it's not. It's a double-edged sword. But the kind of stories we're getting are better.
Yeah.
I
No.
feel,
Yeah,
personally.
there's more energy. People are putting in more effort.
More, and all your stars today are characters, yeah.
yeah,
I'm not talking Pankaj Tripathi. I'm saying even Ranveer Singh is a character today.
No, in fact, the most sellable star is Ananya Pandey at this point of time.
Yeah.
She's done 2
Yeah.
OTT shows
Yeah.
which have been.
100%.
That's
By that, I love that Call It Bay was amazing. Control was amazing.
Control was
amazing.
mind-blowing.
So
mind-blowing.
when she makes the next commercial movie, there'll be people banking on her because she's got that mass popularity.
But listen,
now.
I feel if you see current Gen Z, man, she's probably one of the smartest girls.
Very smart.
She's very,
Very smart. She's chosen the movie which is her character. Like she's Call Me Bay
Huh.
is something you think, oh, I think Ananya Pandey might be like this in real life.
Yeah, yeah.
She's so amazing. She's choosing work. Like even that Gehrai, very like decent
yeah.
movie. Her character was like this girl,
And
rich,
actually,
spoiled girl.
her emotional graph was the hardest in that film.
Yeah.
But you know, also she's very blessed and lucky from a perspective that as you downsize, she's one of those few people where personality plays a part.
Yeah.
Today, none of the big guys work in an OTT setting.
Yeah.
Right?
But that she made that switch, right?
She's
She
made
was
that switch very nicely.
Very nice.
very
She's
seemingly.
not larger than life from a cinema
Yep,
perspective,
yep,
so you can write something for her which is close to her personality, which has worked beautifully for her.
And right now, after like Call Me Bay and Control came back to back, and I think it's deliverable hits.
Yeah.
With Call Me Bay, is something which we all go through.
Even
Like
the one before that, Joe, with the 2 guys. What was that movie? On Netflix only. With,
the friendship wala movie.
the friendship
yeah.
wala. Yeah. क्या था उसका
Siddharth Chaturvedi.
खो गए हम कहाँ?
Kho Gaya. What a movie that was, yeah.
It's a good movie.
Again, story based movie.
But another thing, guys, are you noticing? So, along with downsizing, also duration, right? Like as a consumer, our attention spans have gone down.
Bola na,
You
Yogesh.
don't have 4 hours to see song and dance. You want to finish that story in
I
an
saw
hour and a half.
Pushpa 2 the other day.
Couldn't sit through it.
Legit, like you can't see that on your TV. You will see it.
Yeah,
on
I'll
the
have to
screen,
see it
you
on
know,
the
it's-
screen, but
No, but you didn't
Right.
didn't enjoy it. As you said, you get.
I got exhausted watching.
Yeah, exactly what he said, right? My point is coming then. Our next question वही था तुम लोग के लिए. Like my point is, now take for example, James Gunn का Superman आ रहा है. Now that is the movie you don't want to see it at home.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
100%.
So as a मैं बोल रहा हूँ as a creative perspective के लिए, what is that X factor you think you need to put in कि भाई public theater में जाए? Unless I would love
I
watching
don't think
Lampata.
there is any director who can think like that because
Yeah.
for them it is to make a good film. अभी जब भी end product बनता है then is the producer or the distributor will say यार अगर इसको if we send it to the films we'll lose money to the theaters, we have to send it to the OTT.
नहीं पर ऐसे सर्कस जैसा मूवी तू बनाया एग्जांपल व्हिच इज अ माइंडलेस कॉमेडी आई एम जस्ट गिविंग एग्जांपल और अ कंपैरेटिवली अ सीरियस मूवी और प्रॉपर्ली हेवी मूवी व्हिच कम आउट सो आई एम जस्ट सेइंग दैट आई थिंक ऐसा हो गया है कि कॉमेडी मूवीज आर इजीली सेलेबल ऑन ओटीटी मतलब आई थिंक इट्स द
OTT में if the experience that I've had is if you have a sellable face, whatever the film is, the OTT channels will get it.
या
And so there are 2 ways of how these guys buy a film. One is before the film is made, you say that this is the actor we have signed in and we are just doing this for the OTT, this is the budget, and they sign it off. The second way is once the film goes in theaters, they will say yes, we'll buy the film, but they'll first see the collections that the film is doing, and on that we'll decide a percentage of what we'll give you to get the
वाओ
film.
सो मच इन्वॉल्वड या
Yeah.
Ajay, just you know, a question that just popped up, which is your favorite sports show on these platforms? Because they're all or nothing है, बहुत सारे हैं.
Sports show.
स्पोर्ट्स शो आई डोंट थिंक
Sports reality.
स्पोर्ट्स
Wait, have you watched the test?
I love the test. So first season was
What a-
Australia.
Australia. It was Ashes. It was amazing. Sports Center बोल सकते हैं क्या?
नहीं.
John
अरे नहीं,
Dykes.
मतलब ये OTT.
No, I'm just saying no, but John Dyke का जो Sports Center था, I think वो मेरे को आधे घंटे में पूरा न्यूज़ दे देता था.
That's
Round the
the
globe.
go-to.
No, he's talking OTT.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying the Sports Center. What we lack right now is something like that. A sum up.
It's a good
100%.
space.
It's a good. And by the way, so I met. I did a show with John Dykes once. I met him. And
क्या बात कर रहे
and there were online था, but there were other celebrities. I'm not going to name anyone.
इसके जब इस पे था अपना
No, Champions League था.
Champions League था.
Champions League के लिए.
समझा.
So I'm not going to name other celebrities over there. The first thing when they allowed me in the meeting room, I was like, John Dyke sir, biggest fan because I have
Big respect.
the straight face and you know the
Yeah.
pauses.
Oh, yeah.
Will they do it or will they not?
And
you
the
know?
knowledge. he
The
had
knowledge, yeah.
सारे sports.
Yeah,
golf.
and you know because I still remember Sports Center 2005 चैंपियंस लीग लॉस के बाद मैं सोचूंगा कुछ टीवी नहीं देखा लेकिन स्पोर्ट्स सेंटर तभी देखा था एंड देयर वाज द फैग एंड ऑफ हिज करियर
Yeah,
आल्सो
yeah.
तभी मैं देखा था उसका जो सम अप आया था उसका जो बोला था कि as a player वो describe कर रहा था what Milan players went through and the jubilant joy here.
He's very
But
compassionate.
And then
in
he
the way
said,
he
spare guys at home, spare a thought for Milan fans. And I was like, ये समझा मेरी दिल की बात, so something which is
जो आजकल के इंग्लिश पंडित्स करते नहीं है. They just want to,
And Harsh, I tell you, you watch these games and you have English commentary, and if your team's playing an English team, just forget about your team being spoken about. It's so sad, like
Listen,
that bias is so
I have an
obvious.
example.
Very
Last
sad.
night I was watching Arsenal Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
So Arsenal, they were talking about Raya having a double save. They were talking about his double save against an
Atalanta.
EPL team. No. Let me get there. So they were talking about a double save against an EPL team. Okay, my God, this team, I'm not going to a lower end team. And said, didn't Arsenal play some European game where he had a great double save? मेरे मन में सीधा आया Atlanta. I said, why don't you name? He said, oh yeah, must be some European team. I said, I didn't even know the name of the team, bro. And Arsenal should have kind of.
They should have lost the game.
They should have lost the game. Atlanta played very well. And I was like, you know that a double save against Burnley, but you don't know a massive double save which saved Arsenal's bushes against a team like
Because
Atlanta.
I feel like they also feel like the EPL is above the Champions League.
Yeah.
Really, like that's the mentality with which they commentate.
Listen, they
you know,
said
it's-
it.
Yeah, but
They
it
said
is the money league.
But
I mean, you
some
can't
of
deny
the
it.
some of the pundits, again not naming anyone for controversial reasons, said it that winning the Premier League is more important than Champions League. I was like, भाई इधर ही बंद कर दो.
100%.
मैं ये रिएक्शन देने था तो ये
ये आया था मेरे को रिएक्शन. Only thing what I liked about that entire show में एक बार ऐसा रियो फर्डन बोला था post the Euros. He said, I know very upset, but the better team won because after the first goal, Italian midfield dominated the game.
Of course.
So it was very good coming from an English fan. ऐसे बाकी सब रो रहे थे यार Rashford ने miss किया. अरे भाई पहला पूरा game तो देखो.
I know.
Shouldn't have been in the penalties, I feel anyways. Yeah. But yeah, when you come for all these realities, all or nothing, I loved Black Cap.
All Blacks.
All Blacks.
अरे
It was amazing. City का बहुत फालतू लगा था. But All Blacks का all or nothing was amazing. But when it comes to I had seen मेरे को Euro, after winning the Euro, there was
but that was for the English perspective. They actually, do you know this? That there was a film crew who were shooting the Euros, predicting that England will win it.
So it came on Netflix recently.
It came on,
So I really enjoyed that.
That's a good show, no doubt.
What is it called?
It's called Euros only.
Euros, yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen
From
it.
English perspective, but I liked it because I loved how. But luckily, we all blamed the pundits, but all the fans were like, "Boss, we lost the game fairly, squarely." Well, वैसा था. So, but yeah, something
I
very,
think
very.
that humility's probably come in 2 back-to-back final runs. Perhaps, it's given some perspective.
So yeah, well, very not. I just said not many sports shows, right?
Guys, take us home, Leeds United. Watch it.
Oh, I loved
Beautiful
it.
show.
Oh, by the way,
Bielsa.
when you talk about this, oh, sorry, Sunderland
Till I die.
I think that's my favorite.
I think Sunderland started the trend.
Yeah.
But for me, I would have to say all or nothing. Juventus, obvious bias, but honestly, it wasn't the best.
Yeah.
I liked the Spurs one. I liked the City one because Pep is just a character.
What about Welcome to Wrexham?
Oh, I love now that. Yeah, that's it.
Leeds I started and then not finished it.
But Leeds का was very abrupt यार. दो ही episode निकाले
no,
था.
right.
No, the second season because of COVID.
COVID.
They couldn't really shoot because of COVID.
And
because
also
they came
like,
back.
but Bielsa's a cult, yeah. He's like you see him, you want to know his story. Like he himself, that personality is. His training methods are so well documented. It's
Definitely
crazy.
wanted a Leeds United jersey with Stuart Dallas 15 behind.
हाँ,
Yeah.
Stuart Dallas.
Cult player था यार, cult player था वो.
अरे भाई लेकिन यार हम लोग भी एक बना सकते हैं not a TV show but something like that, player profile. I love ऐसा following a team.
Yeah.
It's all these shows all or nothing.
It's a great idea because you guys have teams that you really support.
Yeah.
And what if you have a segment?
तेरे बगैर कुछ नहीं होगा यार. You have to be there. You are like the.
And possibly Starbucks also.
Yeah, so it's a great idea, yeah. And plus you, especially both of you, यार, like I feel हम लोग तो creative output दे ही नहीं पाते. ये तो tech है भाई, ये तो अलग level पे.
CTO.
ये तो कुछ अलग level computer पे करेगा. हम लोग को तो creative output है, तुम लोग से creative output आता है. I didn't even know that we have to sit in a particular way to be
just vision.
aesthetic, yeah. That comes naturally, I think, yeah, one time.
So so I think that's been very gainful. Yeah, just talking about this. I hope everyone's enjoyed it. Chins, any closing comments before our Christmas wrap?
No, we have another section after this, a quick section, which is.
We've got questions.
Questions.
Ah,
We've got questions from the
yeah,
fans.
of course.
That's
of
the most
course.
important. Last but not the least.
But guys, before we wrap our final segment, Harsh, we'd like to have some words from you.
I mean, thank you so much. This was really sweet of you guys to have me here in the podcast as well, and I'm a true Calcio member now.
Oh yes.
Respect.
Please support Fiorentina and don't go to UA.
Yeah.
Like the many others who have gone.
I feel I'm on my way there already.
Yeah, baby. Fino ala fine, paise पहुंच जाएंगे.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
man.
much.
Always a
Thank you.
pleasure.
I think now that Harsh has left the frame, that should signal the end of part 1. Let's move on now to the start of our New Year special, part 2.